she could spar with her ass. How about that? What y'all think about that? Drop the T. And what y'all think about Nene coming back? They talk about Nene coming back. Let me play this little video.
She need to come back. She need to come back.
All of his little conspiracy. I don't do the conspiracies as much. That's too much thinking. And to be wrong.
The green screen of Cynthia saying Porsha and Shamea's friendship reminded her of the one she shared with Nene. And I said, yo.
They're trying to get the girl. They're trying to get her back.
It's too many lead ups.
Wow.
Remember, this is the same show that deliberately took her out of the intro she had been in. They went, they found the hard drive, found the file, and took her out.
Ain't that silly?
Ain't that silly? I do feel like they want to bring Nene back. One, she hosted the red carpet for the big NBC what was it? E News Network red carpet that she did. That
recently, yeah.
Yeah, and that was put on by NBC Universal, which is the parent company to all of those networks, E, Bravo, and so forth and so on. She not only hosted a red carpet, they flashed back to her last week in last week's episode. This week's episode, they cut to Cynthia's green screen of her saying, this friendship reminds me so much of mine with Nene. That was a deliberate inclusion. They deliberately put that in there. I think I have officially sipped the juice, and I am on the conspiracy that Nene Leakes is on her way back to Housewives of Atlanta. This reminds me of the type of lead up they did season 11 when Kenya wasn't there. And I felt like they kept trying to find opportunities to flash back to Kenya or to cut to Cynthia saying Kenya or Candy talking to Cynthia about Kenya, or there was a mention of Kenya. They kept bringing up Kenya, which to me felt like they were going to bring her back next season. And lo and behold, they did.
Now, Ms. Z, when I see you saying that they allowed Nene on camera, the ice is thawing, baby, then I believe the ice is thawing. Because you've been my hard one. You've been like, Nene ain't coming back. They ain't letting Nene back. Baby, the ice is thawing, okay? What y'all think?
Yeah, that
Networks looking at those numbers. Networks looking at the numbers, and the people that they have there are a true ensemble. They don't have one queen bee in the bunch. Not one.
Not one.
Yep.
Not one.
I agree.
Yep.
Porsha is just like the rest of this season. Right, Ms. Z, ha ha ha. Because I'm like, you be like, Nene ain't coming back. Nope, they're not gonna let Nene come back. Did you hear what she said to that man?
Yeah, I never say never. Well, it's network. The
people
network
have heard. There be people have said worse.
Yeah, Andy's gonna have to feel how he feel. Andy's just gonna have to
tired of putting this money into the show when them numbers ain't coming through. Watch when Nene go back next season. What happened? Them numbers gonna shoot through the roof. And
they're gonna be looking at her interviews and the numbers on that. Yeah. Oh, come on now.
Come on, baby. What 400,000, $500,000? They like to have that over there on Real Housewives. Real Housewives, there's no reason to be under $1 million, even though you got 4 new peaches. There's no reason for the numbers to be down in the dumps like they are. But I understand it. Because we give an episode, it's a 5. I give it a 6. I think we had an 8 or 9 1 week.
But 1 week, we had 1 week.
Yeah. And that's
when we're used to Rhoa being a 9 every 10, every week.
And they can do better. They should do that.
Yeah. The lowest I ever seen Rhoa maybe been an 8. You know,
let me tell you something. If Nene come back, that show gonna skyrocket. Because let me tell you something.
What you say?
Porsha gonna have to deal with Nene. She gonna have to face Nene about that damn Upshaw bullshit. Upshaw bullshit.
That Upshaw stuff.
Yeah, she gonna have to face Nene.
What she did to Nene on that
way
network.
that they won't talk about that. Now, if she come back and they don't talk about that, then Bravo had a hand in her doing that. If they come back and they don't touch it, then Bravo made Porsha leave the Upshaws. That's the way I see it. But if Nene come back and be like, I want to know why you did that, then hey, Bravo might not have had nothing to do with it.
Because she didn't want Nene coming back being the HBC, BIC in charge.
But she would have.
She can't stop that.
She would have. She can't stop because Porsha don't have it. She just don't.
No.
Just like they try to stop Mel's, glow. They ain't got it.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
Where that show at? Where that show at? Where that trash? How they say
in
it?
the trash.
Hold on.
Pow, pow.
Where that show at? Ah, they
in the
here.
trash.
They here. Where that show at? Where's that?
In the trash, baby. Down the toilet, in the gutter. Okay.
That show ain't coming back. Where's that though?
Where it at? It ain't
gone.
coming back.
It's
Gone. Bye bye. That's what happened when you come after the real queen of the show.
That's right. Leave that lady alone. That lady ain't bothering nobody.
She mind her business, making millions.
I hope you still got her peach. I was thinking about that. She gave a good interview. She was pretty candid, but Bravo can't stand Carlos King. And
also, they cannot stand her.
Has not been on Watch What Happened Live, and Kelly's been on there twice. He's been over there.
Angela's been on all of their over there with Carlos then.
That's what I'm saying.
Already know she's
about her. I'm worried about her, T-Talk. I don't know about that. It was, and I'm not gonna say it was a bad interview. It was good what I saw of it, but I wouldn't have sat down with him.
It was a good interview, but they can't stand Carlos.
Yeah. And
they
he got so much.
You know what Kenya did? She went over there too. And look where Kenya is.
Yeah. I don't know.
When Kenya went over there, they got rid of her.
Yeah. Sure did.
First little thing they did, they said bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I'm not bothered. I didn't realize it said that. She said someone said it's coming back in June. You just said where that show at, but it still says canceled on Google.
It's not coming back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be coming back.
But what I heard, they're gonna have to revamp the whole show.
That's what I heard. 84, show me where I can find the announcement. Excuse me. Point 84. Can you tell me where I can find the announcement since it's coming back? And it's been announced. Tell me where that is, please, so we can.
Yeah, because they've been saying that. They said
congratulations to the show. Where's the announcement, please, so that I can put it up for everybody?
In the trash can.
Because the people have been asking. So if the show is coming back, I'd like to let them know. Can you give us where the announcement is?
It's please? The end of May.
You can drop the link in the chat, or you can just tell me where to find it.
We'll wait.
Next June.
Yeah. So this you can't point
next
to film.
June. 2028.
84. I'm waiting. Y'all can go ahead and talk. I'm just waiting for point 84 to put it in here so I can pull it up. He said the show coming back in June, so it should be an announcement. So let's wait for the announcement.
I've been waiting. I ain't seen it.
I'm not. I would be coming back with it if it does.
Yeah, no, I want to see what the content creator said. Yeah, I want to see the announcement from the network, because he said the show coming back in June, and the network should have announced it by now, because they're gonna tell you that it's coming back so you can rev up for it. So where's the show announced at? Point 84. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Have a good evening. Now, y'all want to get on with the show? Who said? I didn't say it was canceled, but I said it has not been renewed. Okay, I know the English language very well. I never said the show was canceled. The show is, well, I did say that earlier, but the show has definitely not been renewed.
Where's they cancel on Google?
So where's the announcement at? I don't want you to tell me that there was no cancellation. I want you to tell me where the announcement is that it's coming back in June. That's what I want, because you said it's coming back in June. Matter of fact,
where are the commercials? Where are the commercials? Where's the commercials? Saying Love and Marriage is coming back. I ain't seen not one commercial. Not one.
Tell me where to find the show at. Oh, I didn't think so. Yeah.
No.
I figured. Okay. Yeah, the show hasn't been renewed, like I said. Okay. Now it might not have been canceled, but the damn show ain't been renewed. Okay.
And it ain't come back in June because it's the end of May.
Don't tell me what no content creator told you. I want to see an announcement from OWN or another network.
Child Destiny put that mess out there.
Oh, that's what it was. Destiny.
Yes, Child Destiny.
Don't believe the hype, Destiny. The liar who said somebody groomed her. The one they didn't ask her for once. Oh, that one. Okay.
That one.
That one. Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Broken butt Destiny. Flat back. With a 5-inch crack.
Not the flat back.
Yes, child. Flat back.
You said Carlos announced it was canceled. Oh, I ain't heard that.
They somebody said Carlos did say something about I was reading something on TikTok.
BKNY said it has not been renewed. That's what I said. However, it has not been canceled. Exactly. I have not seen the cancellation, but it has not been renewed. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either.
No, nobody heard
Now,
anything.
now I just seen Kimmy put a new thing up there for breast cancer that Owen is helping her with.
They should help with that.
Yeah.
She worked for them for a long time. And she was employed by them when she got it. Well, maybe not them though, because allegedly they were employed by Carlos. Carlos announced what, Purple Queen, that the show was coming back. That's not an announcement to me. He doesn't have a network. He has a production company. Yeah. I need a network to tell me that the show is coming on their network.
I ain't seen not one.
Right? If I could get
that, producing,
I might believe it, but not from him. No,
he's been shopping that show around and nobody's picking it up.
No, he's not.
Not without mail.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's picking the show up at all.
Right. Well, anyway, let us pick up this week's episode so we can get this thing done. All right. Y'all ready?
We ready. You ready?
Right, so we'll get started. And I'll lead the way this week. Rhoa, we are opening it up with Cynthia, of course. We are coming off of the Pampered by Porsha party. And we know that at the end of last week, Drew and Porsha fell out about not Drew. Shamea and Porsha fell out about their friendship last week. So now we're coming back off of that. Okay. So Cynthia's waiting for Shamea to show up. She gets herself a martini. Then Shamea comes on in. Now Shamea got on some dark glasses, like she going to a funeral, like she's so devastated. Anyway, what is one else at? Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm starting too fast because Angela and Charles start first. Okay, so they sit down, but we already talked about that. So I feel like, we already talked about that. But y'all remember we talked about that scene. Angela and Charles went to lunch. Angela and Charles were having banter about some guy and who he played for, and they were going back and forth. And then, of course, Angela said, "Oh, this is our love language." And Charles was like, "No, it's not." And she was like, "Charles, I'm giving you an out. You need to know when I'm giving you an out, and you need to take it." And he was like, "I don't need no motherfucking out." So he was like, I don't need that. I ain't asked for it. I don't want it. Okay. So he let her know off the top, "Don't play with me on here. I'm going to be myself and you better get with it." So she says, "Give me a kiss." And he's like, "Kiss for what? Why I need to give you a kiss?" And she's like, "Cause I what?" So he gave her the kiss anyway, reluctantly, because his ass didn't want to give her the kiss. As a matter of fact, why was y'all sitting so far apart? Y'all were sitting far apart. But anyway, I digress. They were sitting far apart, but they were still together. And a lot of the ladies don't even have their husband on here, okay? Then the producers asked Charles, y'all, did he love Angela? And he was like, "Next question." Oh, he didn't want to answer that question. Now, I found that a little odd. Like, why don't you want to answer whether you love your wife or not? She tells him, "Well, come on now, Charles. You know, she's trying to make sure that the people know that you love me." He was like, "The people." And she's like, no, don't say that. I didn't say that. This the producer. Like, don't put that in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just asking a question. Anyway, then they talk about her sister and her mother and how the sister didn't want the daughter to use the car that she paid for while living in the house that she also paid for. And the sister wanted to charge the daughter to use the car that she not using that her mama paid for. And Angela didn't take lightly to that. She did not like that. She did not like the mama was allowing that because she feel like she bought them a home and she don't want them to be giving her all that. Okay. Now, y'all, I went back to last week and I thought about something real quick. Remember the mama came? Well, is the mama going to come later? The mama going to come later. That's all right. Let me shut up. I'll wait. That's not mine. Okay. Charles said that Angela needed to learn to walk away from things, even if it is your sister. If it's just not good for you and it's not healthy for you, then you need to walk away. You need to walk away. Okay. And Angela, she's still like, "Well, that's my sister." Anyway, Angela asked if he thought she could hold her own. He said, "Of course you can hold your own with a woman." She's like, "Well, with who else?" He's like, "I'm just saying, with a woman you can." Anyway, Angela said she wanted him to get with the family. Now, Charles ain't too keen about that. He don't really give a damn about her family. Okay. Now, I hope that him and the mother had a chance to reconcile now that we know she's resting in heaven. But Charles did not seem enthusiastic to be with Angela's family at all. Y'all, then they flash over to Cynthia. Now we at the bar with Cynthia. Now Cynthia at the bar, she got a martini. She want that bitch to be strong. Because she's like, now I got to deal with this bullshit. Because Cynthia already know the truth, right? But anyway, Shamea come in there, and she got her glasses on like it's a funeral. And she's, I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm so devastated about this mess that I've caused. No, let me stop. She didn't say that. Anyway, Shamea comes in with her shades on, acting like she's falling apart, okay? She says she didn't get any sleep last night. Then she shares a text about feeling sadness right before she was going over there to see Porsha. She texted her mom and said, all of a sudden, I just feel this sadness come over me. That was very convenient. So you would have that after. Okay, but anyway, let me keep on. She feels Porsha should have talked to her in private. I went too fast. Cynthia said, what is going on anyway? So Shamea tells her that Porsha has her so disheartened because the girls came back and told Porsha what she said. And instead of Porsha coming to her in private, she's decided to bring it to the group. And she's just disheartened because Porsha should not have brought that to the group after the group brought it to her. But okay, let's keep going. Okay. Let's see. Cynthia said, now, did the girls bring it back the way you said it, or did they bring it back a different way? Because Cynthia's believing that the girls brought it back the way you said it. But at any rate, Shamea proceeds to tell her that the conversation she had with the girls got taken back in a weird way. Not the way she said it. Okay? They flash back to Porsha at the party. Anyway, they go on, and Shamea's complaining about how Porsha is not a good friend to her, and the girls just kept asking her about it, and that's it, and that's all. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything, because we talked about all this. Shamea brings up, she did bring up the parents, okay? And I think that's what happened today. Once you bring parents into it, and you start talking about the family members, then people start going to dig up stuff on them. So now we got stuff out about Shamea's mama today and Porsha's mama, and it's all ugly. Anyway, they ended by laughing it off. Shamea tells Cynthia how much joy Porsha brings her. Then she tells Cynthia that she might be on the market to be her best friend soon because, maybe her and Porsha won't make up. But anyway, Sandra P., how do you feel? Because you're not after me, right? Just drop it. Right? Is Sandra P. here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I apologize. All right, thank you. I like the opening scene. Of course, I like that they start with Charles and Angela. I think she looked really pretty in her red. I loved him in his burgundy. Again, that banter is something the audience is just going to have to get used to. Angela is still doing she knows all her angles and that picture perfect. But trying to kiss and all that on screen, that she's still not going to look good doing that because we know Charles actually doesn't like it. But I found a lot of it funny. And I like their conversation. I don't like the way they engage. Production asking him if he loved her, and he was like,
"No."
That was kind of embarrassing. But she knows that he don't do that, so I don't know why she keep playing with him like that on screen. Even if they play like that behind the screen, don't do that to him on screen. Yeah, Cynthia and Shamea, I thought it was good conversation. I like how Cynthia manages to be able to go to each and every woman in the group and kind of get their side of it. She's a true friend of the show. She's doing a really good job with that, and she looked really pretty. Both of them look really pretty. And I like the scene. What they were talking about, I think Shamea is already trying to manage, she showed up upset, said she couldn't sleep. Now, she does have a habit of pulling out that phone and showing the person, this is the text I sent my mom. I'm very leery of sending texts, a lot of texts, personal texts and things like that to certain people because I just don't find that to be something that you should do. But we saw her do it on screen that she showed Cynthia. I sent my mom and she prayed for me. So she walked into the party knowing that there was going to be some issue with her and Porsha. I do think that she is really upset. I like how Cynthia handled her. Cynthia is not really, she didn't take a side. She just tried to hear Shamea and then she spoke for Porsha as well. So I thought it was a good scene. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Sassy.
Well, Charles ain't the one, the two, or the three. Okay, he ain't trying to be this life on TV faking the funk. It ain't in his blood. It ain't gonna happen. Angela is not gonna break that man. That man is stern, and she don't mess around and have a divorce on her hands. She keep on, cause he ain't for the it. Okay, he ain't for it.
You think he getting divorced? I feel like they already ain't living together. But
I feel like that she lives in the house to film. I don't think they live together. They the way they interact, it's just not. Even if you had a little love, you're gonna sit a little closer to the person. You ain't gonna sit clear across the room. I mean, it's just weird to me. Okay, it's weird. I feel like she in it for the notoriety and the money. That's it. That's all. I like, Cynthia. I agree with Sandra P. Cynthia is navigating the friendship very well. She's old school. She know how to do it. Cynthia, to me, when she was better like this than she was like as a peach holder. She's more interesting like this. It's like she get the information. She kind of put her, her analogy on it and give it to people, and and she's not judging anybody. She's taking it, and I know everybody want to be for Porsha, and Porsha ain't said nothing and this and that, but I have to validate Shamea's feelings too, because they are genuine. I think they are genuine because of some other stuff that's going on. But I do think, in my opinion, I feel like Shamea feels like her feelings are not validated with Porsha. And I can get that because, Porsha has done that before. But, I'm not all for the graphics and, the crying and this and that. Girl, if she ain't your friend, she ain't your friend. Cut it loose. Let it go like a goose. Okay? Just cut the neck. Move on. If y'all can't come to a agreement after all these years of friendship, and just because y'all been friends for years, don't mean that they your friend. It just don't.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I found that out. So y'all, I don't know. I feel like the friendship is strained because of the run back. Now Angela, she gonna take that bone. So Shamea, you tell Angela anything, Angela gonna take that bone, and she trying to keep her peach. She $2 million in the hole. She need to pay them bills that Charles is not gonna pay. Okay, Charles said $2 million. What? You got your ass in it. You gonna dig your ass out. Point blank period. So that's all I
think that they all know that that's how the show works, though.
Yeah,
each one runs back and tells somebody something.
They said they've been trying to get Angela on the show for years. She wouldn't come because of Sheree.
Is that why they fired Sheree? That's ugly.
If they had to pick one, I could see them choosing Angela. Sheree won't show a lot. Sheree won't show a lot, but she carries the bone. She's more friend of too. She could be a friend of.
Cool Cat said D got her beat. So you gonna have to calm D down about Porsha. she about Porsha like she about Shamea. Ain't nothing wrong with but you say you don't like Shamea like that. You just I don't know.
I like both. I think both their personalities are strong, but there's a deeper connection, and I think Porsha is not saying a lot about Shamea because a lot of stuff that Porsha don't want to come out. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's that maybe she didn't want what came out today to come out. But now that that's out, I think all the gloves are going to be off. Everybody already know they both was thoughts. Shamea was thought just as much as Porsha was before she got married.
And maybe Shamea grew up and Porsha got
in
mad.
that man's house the first night she met him and slept with his ass. Okay, she wouldn't did all that. So that told me right there what kind of woman she was at the time. So she got lucky and she married a nice old rich man. Great, but them girls was both out there together. So I think they both ain't gonna want, especially Shamea, nobody to know what they was doing. I think the stuff between the mamas caused that fracture. I don't know, because the mamas been sure they've been broke up.
I'm gonna tell you why I feel like that. Because Porsha went in for no reason. Shamea didn't say nothing about her mama bad.
No, I think Porsha went in because of this right now. Now I
mean the IG story, Sassy? You mean the IG story where Porsha got up? And then yeah, I think so too. I think it does stand back to the mother, because we get to see Miss Diane this season in Porsha's ear about Shamea. And she's been doing that for years, and we get to see it now.
I think it's the mothers, and I think that Porsha knew, including the mothers in the conversation, was going to do just what happened now. It makes the viewers curious. They want to know what happened. So then they do a deep dive to see if they can find something. And what did they find? Today it came out. The reason why Porsha's mother's mad is because she got into a tough time and was about to lose her daycare. And she confided in Shamea's mother, who ended up turning around buying the daycare. Her own.
Rightfully so.
And Porsha mama got mad because they've been garnishing Porsha's money, her money. They've been doing a lot of stuff. Then they ended up that, you know.
No, I think the garnishment happened after the daycare, I thought. Because what the garnishment had to do with the suit?
It happened after that lawsuit with the, what was it, the 620, whenever that was, the baby passed away, the 2-year-old. Before then, they were garnishing, and then they got back on feet. And then that baby passed, and then they ended up in this lawsuit. And then that's when she went back with the all-night baby. Porsha's mom went back with the idea of the all-night 24-hour baby.
After the baby passed, she the all-night one, or that was
and then it didn't do good. And then Shamea's mama bought it, and they've been fighting ever since. And Porsha don't want people to know that.
Yeah,
so
I don't see how
this stuff happened before the mother stuff.
Somebody picks up a business that's for sale because you couldn't manage it. You mismanaged it.
So don't get mad at that. So then they were sued for $5 million. I heard about that. Right. So then that put them in a tough spot. And then the friend went knowing that she was being sued for $5 million and bought her property.
I heard this a long time ago. I heard that she married Cordell because she thought Cordell was an easy peasy
and I
to
believe
get the
that
money.
About Porsha. I believe that about Porsha. She's
good with his money.
Yeah.
He said that he alluded to how much. Yeah, he alluded to how much he was helping her, and allegedly it was involved in helping make payroll.
Her mama.
The ducks were in a row.
Yeah.
And
he said her mama was spending too much money.
Yeah,
he was tired of it.
I believe that too.
Yeah, he bought his house cash. They were running all over the man's house, jumping off the roof. So yeah, it goes back a long way between her and that mama. Jumping off the roof into the
Oh wow! But didn't they have insurance on the daycare? Didn't that daycare pay for the $5 million settlement?
Oh,
I don't know who paid for it because I didn't.
Or not? It depends on if somebody's at fault. Yeah, insurance can.
Because the little boy was left in the he was left in the van.
That's what I'm saying.
I just did something on my channel about that.
If you're at cars,
I did it yesterday.
If the baby was left alone and everybody's gone or something, and somebody's at fault, insurance may or may not pay. So it just depends. I don't know all the details, but some of the rules.
That's negligent. If you left,
that is negligent. Yes,
they went to
tragic. It's tragic.
Allegedly and left the baby in there.
Right. So that would be negligent.
Yeah, that's tragic.
Insurance would be responsible for that.
Yeah.
So that would have been
mad at somebody about
why Porsha and them income was being garnished because they owed those people that money.
All that money.
So, yeah. I could
see
and
then they had other loans and stuff too.
Right. So then I could see them going in default and all that bad stuff happening.
With Apex,
I'm not bothered to see
why Miss Diane would be upset.
Read I'm not bothered's comment. I'm not bothered is has a comment related to what we were talking about.
I wonder if that is what Simple Simon was going to expose. Oh, I don't know.
Probably.
Because Porsha threatened him too about
Porsha's mother would be mad.
Don't start threatening my mama.
Yeah, she didn't want her
mama.
It's
a lot of stuff. Now, from my little small circle, from my Porsha mama been doing this from the R. Kelly stuff, sending her out ever since, video vixens, and I feel like this. I feel like Shamea was fighting with her.
We don't.
Well, she admitted that she was there with R. Kelly.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying allegedly and all that.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, she got a book about it.
Yeah,
and I feel like Shamea and Porsha both was doing similar stuff. Maybe Shamea got married and grew up, and then Porsha, she wanted to grow up, but she's choosing these men out of necessity and not out of love.
Right. Well, a lot of women are saying that they're not going to marry for love no more. Like Toni Braxton, she said she's not marrying for love no more. They're going to marry for comfort.
For comfort.
Well, but make sure the man is legal though. Legit.
Yeah, they said a lot of women have said they're not going to marry for love no more. They marry for comfort.
Yeah, I know if I get divorced, that's what I'm doing. I'm not marrying for no love. Not me.
I don't know. I feel bad for Porsha's mom right now. I feel bad for Shamea's mom because neither one of them really signed up to be full throttle housewives to have all their business plastered all over the internet. So I'm sure both of them are not comfortable right now because they both.
Well, I mean, all this stuff is going to come up. It's going to come up.
But what happened?
I bet you they both.
You say what?
Why haven't it been came up? Why haven't it been came up? You know how they get into it on, the housewives and, they go for the gutter. Why nobody haven't been brung this up about
I had heard something about it years ago, but it never did register. I didn't pay it no attention. But I had heard about this and then somebody, and I said, I remember hearing about it, but it just didn't make, what I'm saying? Back then, Nene was making it, and I care less about Porsha and all that stuff. I was into Nene and Nene squashing them and all that. So it just I didn't care about it then. But now, see, the mothers is causing this rift with their, animosity. I mean, it's Diane.
Well, we can't really say they started it, though.
Well, I'm just saying, I feel like they're going to take their mom's, side.
Oh, well, they're gonna take their daughter's side. That's normal. I would do that for my daughter. But Shamea started this on the show with the group. Yeah. Shamea did that because Shamea went to the girls talking about Porsha and all the things
Drew and Angela
did and how she felt and blah blah blah. And then they went back and told Porsha. So that started the whole train moving.
Angela went back and told Porsha.
Yeah, but Angela had nothing to tell her if Shamea didn't tell her.
I know. I'm just saying because Drew said she wasn't gonna say nothing. Angela said, "I don't know this bitch." She went and told Porsha. I'm just saying that's where it was. I don't know you.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be in with Porsha than I will be in with you because Porsha is who they loving on the show, and I'm gonna be in with Porscha, so I'm going to tell your shit.
Yeah, Angela's told stuff on both of them, and Angela moving them around like pieces on the chessboard. That keeps she gets. Yeah, now we're gonna learn more about her and her stuff if she come back for another season. Yeah. But right now, she's able to get them to talk about each other.
She doing a good job too, boy.
Yeah, she's managing it.
So.
Wait a minute, Porsha put this out there intentionally for a sympathy story, and because she had no story, she plotted that. Huh? Are you talking about the post that she made? The post and delete?
Well, she definitely tried to. The mama? She tried to stick her fans on Shamea and turn the narrative against Shamea. Definitely, because I see it changing.
Who said shut up? What
happened? What did you say, Sandra P?
I think that Porsha is definitely giving enough breadcrumbs to stick her fans on Shamea and kind of change the narrative against Shamea. I see it happening in real time.
Wait, which narrative?
That Shamea
because
is
she's not saying nothing. She's not
little
talking
ugly
about
nothing, and she's always been jealous of Porsha.
Yeah.
And Porsha's going through this hard time, and Shamea's
I don't recall no fans saying that Shamea jealous of Porsha, so I don't think nobody's going with that.
I see that almost. I see that up in every comment section. I see that.
Yeah, I don't see that. I see Porsha's jealous of Shamea. I see that a lot, but I think people are starting to see now that Shamea started all this for a storyline. But I don't think that. At least I know I'm not saying that Shamea jealous of Porsha. I don't see either one of those girls being jealous. I think they both calculating and manipulative as shit, and that's why they both got along so good.
Yeah. Yeah. They are very, because y'all, when Porsha said, if I can just see Simon and talk to him face to face, she know how to manipulate. She know what she gonna do.
She thinks she's gonna shake that butt at him, but the way he was talking, he sounded like he don't want it no more. He had already replaced her in Dubai. She was mad about that.
Child, if Porsha was a stripper, so what? Nene was a stripper. Cardi B was a stripper.
A stripper.
No,
there's a lot of strippers out here. So
Jessica Dime was a stripper.
In Atlanta, that's not really
in Atlanta, that's was a stripper. And people still living their good life. Hey, sexy
them strippers. Listen, them strippers make more money than I do.
Yeah, nobody ain't tripping off.
Some of them, they drive better cars, make more money.
Isn't changing. The tide isn't changing about Shamea because of Porsha. It's because people are seeing Shamea for who she is. Let's see. Porsha was never.
I never heard that either. I never heard that.
I never heard that either.
No, I ain't never heard Porsha was a stripper.
That's what I
know. She like to shake it up.
If
she was, so what?
In Atlanta, she's the granddaughter of Hosea Williams. There's certain Porsha has a pedigree that a lot of people don't recognize, but it is there. Now, Miss Diane, I'm not going to give that to her. I don't know what the relationship was with the son, Hosea Feed the Hungry son. I don't know. I heard different things about it, but Porsha definitely is legacy in Atlanta. I don't see her stripping. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, BK
I definitely ain't never heard that, Sandra P. I ain't never heard that. Anyway, drop the T. What's happening? She's still there. She froze.
Maybe on mute. Because I'll go on mute in a minute and forget.
Okay. All right. So we see a clip of Shamea and Porsha at the restaurant. Then we see a clip of Kelly. She at her restaurant. Then we go into the scene where Porsha, Cynthia, and Angela, they meet for bowling. So the girls get together, and Cynthia makes a joke about Portia's butt. She was talking about how big Portia's butt is, and then Cynthia just starts talking about how big Porsha's butt is. Porsha has a nice shape to me. Porsha said her butt is not a BBL. Okay, she said that it's grown cornbread and greens. Okay, but we're gonna go with that. Porsha said that's how her butt was made. She does not have a BBL because she has the tummy tuck, and also she got her breast down, but no BBL. So I'm just gonna go with that. Okay, because I don't know. Let me know if y'all know in the chat. Okay, so they get to talking and things like that. And then Porsha in confessional says she has a headache. But then they go into Porsha starts telling Angela and Cynthia that when she leaves and stuff now, PJ is kind of clinging to her like, where you going, when you gonna come back, and things like that. So she's not taking well to the divorce. Not the divorce. Well to them not being in the house with Simon and I guess the other kids. And then she's asking for Papa, which is Simon. I guess she called him Papa. And she's also saying that Porsha saying that she tried to text Simon and Simon left them on red. He didn't try to reply back or anything. And she feeling like Polaris is feeling a little sad and things about that. Now I would say that if Simon doesn't want to talk to Porsha, that's fine. He can at least talk to Polara. If they built a relationship, she know Dennis is her dad. and she's calling Simon Papa or what have you. So he could at least talk to the child. Now, I do think that. And we see it a lot when the parents, like just say the kids have a stepfather or something like that. And when they break up with the woman and the kids. What do the kids got to do with it? I think you should still be able to have a conversation with the kids too, even though y'all not together anymore. The kids should not be brought into that. You know, you should still be able to talk to the kids and things like that. And I don't think Porsha would have a problem with that, but I think Simon does. He has a problem with still keeping, open communication with Porsha. Now, we do know he's in ICE detention, but he can make phone calls and stuff. So I think he should still reach out to Porsha, and it looks like Porsha does not have a problem with him doing that. And so Cynthia starts to talk about her and Cynthia, they started to talk about Shamea, and she said she told Shamea that, give it a little time, Porsha just needs a break and things like that. So they're trying to, just let Shamea know that I don't think, y'all friendship is over with. Y'all just need a break from each other, because that can be a lot where you just used to seeing your best friend maybe on the weekends or during the week. But now that your best friend is, kind of in your workspace, in your space now, it may be a little much, and it probably is a little much. How can I put it? A little much than what you bargained for. Seeing your friend every day and probably seeing everybody clinging to her because of the house and the things that she have, you maybe were not expecting that, and that's probably taken a little bit for Porsha to adjust to. I think maybe Porsha feels like the ladies on the show are her friends or what have you. And maybe she feel like Shamea is coming in on her territory. And we also heard Shamea say that if this is a problem for her, she can go back to her regular life. So Shamea's, to me, it's like she said, she is willing to not come back on. She could, go to her regular life if this is causing a problem for her and Porsha's relationship. But Cynthia is telling her and Angela, just give it a minute and, let, Porsha just catch her bearings, because Porsha is going through stuff. She's going through a divorce and things like that. She's also going with the betrayal from Drew, with the stuff that Drew did. So she's got a lot going on right now. Also, she still hasn't got her divorce from Simon yet. So she's got a lot going on with that. And then also, allegedly, if the house is in foreclosure, she has to find another place to live, and things like that, because the house she has, allegedly, she gave it to her mom. So that's a lot she's going through. Okay, so then we go to Porsha in confessional. She says that she doesn't want to, lose her friend. She doesn't want to divorce her friend, which is Shamea. She already divorced Simon. She don't want to divorce her friend right now. Okay, she doesn't want to do that. So she's trying to balance it all out. So then we go into Drew and her mom. Drew mom is in the car. She's talking to Drew, and they're talking about Ralph and things like that. Drew mom is saying that she really didn't know that Ralph was like that, and Drew mom flew down to come and be with Drew because Drew is going through a lot with the divorce with Ralph. And Drew was telling her mom, how Ralph, things that he's doing to her. Like he locked her, he changed the code on the door where she couldn't get in the house. She had to stay at the hotel. Then finally he went through the basement and came up to the front and opened up the door for her. Then she's telling her mother how Ralph is trying to get her attorney recused from her case, and then also her attorney dissolved Drew Sidora, and Drew Sidora, the Drew Sidora, what we call it, her Drew Sidora brand, and she made another one. So now Ralph found out about it. Now Ralph is saying that he wants 40% of the Drew Sidora that they dissolved and of the new one. So Ralph also found out that she has one in LA and one in Chicago. He wants 40% of each one of those. Now, Drew says that Ralph does pretty good for himself. He makes over $200,000. My question is, why are you trying to drain Drew? Now, my thing is, I thought once you file for a divorce, anything you do after that, because when you file for the divorce, it's supposed to be like a legal separation. So anything that you accrue after you file from the divorce, it should be yours. Just like anything you like, just like any bills you accrue after when you file for the divorce and y'all in a legal separation, but y'all not quite divorced yet, but y'all in a legal separation, that's on you. Whatever you accrue when y'all go ahead down there to file for divorce, and from my understanding, y'all are legally separated right now. Y'all just haven't got the divorce. So anything that you do after that, that's yours, and whatever he do after that, that's his. So just say, for instance, you win the lottery. From my understanding here in Wisconsin, you are not entitled to that, because once we go to this divorce, we're going to get a legal separation right now. So if I win the lottery, just say anything after that point, that's mine. Any bills that are occur after we got this legal separation, that's mine. That's how Wisconsin works, but I don't know how other states work. But anyway, so they're talking about, how low down and dirty that Ralph is doing. He's in the basement. So Drew's mother is on her way over to the house or whatever. So once Drew's mother gets there, they start talking and things like that. And she starts telling Drew, like, why is, Ralph in the basement and things like that? Why is Ralph not, have not left? She said, because you're confusing the kids. And then Drew starts to say that her kids do their gymnastics and things like that in the house. Her mother said, well, y'all kids are different. Y'all didn't do, gymnastics and things like that in the house. Then Drew's mother goes on to say that the kids are different. They don't listen and things like that. And then Drew's mother says, now, there's a problem when I tell the kids to do something and they don't want to listen. There's a problem. She said, your kids are, kind of getting out of control, and they've been affected by this, this divorce. And she's telling Drew that, she needs to do something about this. Drew starts crying. She needs to take a minute. She walks out, goes into the dining room. She takes a minute. She comes back in. Her mother says she didn't mean to make her cry, but, she needs to tell her that, that the kids are getting out of control, because the kids don't know, really what's going on. Why is their dad in the basement? They upstairs, and it's not helping the kids one way or the other. And, she's trying to tell Drew that. And, and Drew was like, I didn't know that, this was affecting my kids. And, then Drew's mother says, I didn't mean to make you cry, but it is what it is, that the kids are out of control. So, what do you think about that, T-Talk? T-Talk? T-Talk.
I was on mute. I'm sorry.
You up there making these faces?
I was talking.
Oh, okay. All right.
They can't hear me.
Yeah,
with Drew and her mama, how do Drew not know what's going on with her children? That's the first thing.
Thank you.
But her mama told her.
No, I think she should know before her mama, though.
Okay.
Don't you think? The kids see you every day. You ain't gonna know that your children acting up.
Maybe it's a generational gap, because when our mamas tell us to sit down, they sit down, and maybe they just not doing that with Drew mama.
Yeah, and these kids that right now,
but they didn't look like they were doing it with Drew neither, Sassy. Because did you see them?
Yeah, that's true.
Them children weren't listening to her.
I don't think they listen to neither one of them. Ralph either. I think they just let them run free.
Yeah, they wasn't listening to Drew. They was not listening at all.
Nope.
So yeah, I think that Drew full of shit. I don't like her and Ralph having to live in the same house because let me tell you something. That is hard. That is hard. It is hard to be around the same person that caused you the pain in the first place.
Well, he can't come upstairs. He can't come upstairs.
It don't matter.
Downstairs. Just his presence in my damn house. You know what that means? I can't move on.
Yeah. Right. That means he still has control.
I can't move on.
Well, the judge won't make him leave. The judge said he can stay down there.
Right. So that means she basically can't move on. She can't really move on. And a mother, let's just be honest, a mother is attached to the child most of the time. Okay. So then how does she really move on with him just right down in the basement? She can't really live her life. It's like the court down south is just backwards or something.
What wonder can Drew move out the house?
No disrespect to nobody from down there, but I'm just saying it just seems like I don't believe I'm going through what I'm going through, but not only just for the courts because of decisions that we have to make. There's people have to get themselves together so they can go on. But what I'm saying is, the courts are not going to say to us, you guys got to stay in the same house. That's where a lot of bad stuff happens. When two people that are trying to separate are forced to be together, in my opinion. So,
what do you think? Do you think Drew can move out if she wanted to?
Yeah, she make enough money. She could.
But do you think
that big old house?
But do you think the courts will let her move out and take those kids though?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They not. I don't think they forcing her to stay there with the kids. I think she's staying there because she want to stay in the house, and Ralph want to stay in the house. So Ralph went to his lawyers first before Drew and told his lawyers that it's a great idea that he could just live in the basement. And the lawyer presented it to the court in a way that they accepted it.
But I thought Ralph said he wants to be around his kids. But if Drew move out with the kids,
yeah, but the judge can't force you to stay in that kind of situation. I don't think so.
But then what about taking the kids? He might say that he don't want her to take those kids.
But they ain't all his anyway, is they?
The oldest one ain't.
Right. So the family, you got to keep the kids together. So therefore, she's the mother of all the kids. So the kids got to go with her.
Ralph just don't like Drew.
He bought that house.
That's not about it. But her money helped contribute it too. So I think his narcissistic behind need to move. But we all know he ain't moving. So
and then you see his dad in the car with him when they was going to court. His daddy's like, they want you to move out your house that you pay the mortgage on. His daddy is putting that stuff in that shit in his ear too.
Yeah. Because his daddy should have said, you go ahead and move out and make that your child support. You go ahead and pay that mortgage and you go find you somewhere else.
Yeah. Because you got kids by her, boy. That woman need that house. You need to get your own place.
Her black ass know when that baby turned 18, that's your last payment. That's
right.
Yeah, but the daddy is not saying that. So we know.
No, because the daddy just like him.
Yeah. Daddy's a fucked up individual. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. She said daddy is dead. Well, he said his daddy was in the car.
There was a man in the car who was telling him that. That his daddy. Remember that man that was in the car with him? Remember that man?
I don't know who it was, but
yeah, they didn't say who it was.
What was he telling Ralph? Tell me, they trying to make you pay a mortgage on trying to put you out your own house that you pay a mortgage on? Who was that man? He looked like his daddy.
It called marriage and it's called divorce. And unfortunately, that's what happens in marriage, and then that's what happened in divorce.
Did y'all remember the older man that was in the car with him? Do y'all remember that older man that was in the car with Ralph when they was going to court?
I don't know if it's his dad, uncle, or who it was. I don't know. They never said. I just heard them say it.
Yeah.
I see somebody yawning.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes.
Chinese, honey, Chinese.
Sandman trying to take me out.
You can beat him, boo. You can beat him.
You said if a woman chooses to be free, just move on. Drew is going to lose everything. I wouldn't pay her child support either. Oh, but he got to pay child support. He got baby by her. He got baby by her.
That girl worked hard on her music. She deserves her money. He don't deserve all that. That she worked hard, regardless of what we don't like about Drew.
And I forgot that Drop the T had talked about Porsha and Simon and PJ. This is what I want to say. PJ ain't been around that man long enough that she need to fall out, cry, die.
Yeah.
She got a whole daddy that loved the shit out of her. Call her daddy up and tell her some bitch, listen, she over here trying to go through something over there, you know, and he need to come get his daughter. Because I don't know what Porsha thinks she talking about PJ crying for Papa. She got a whole daddy.
No, T-Talk. No. Tell when Pilar get to acting like that, tell Dennis to come out the kitchen and get his daughter and spend some time.
But there you go. Instead of cooking them hot dogs. Tell Dennis
because you know Dennis is over there at the house. Allegedly.
Tell Dennis to turn them hot dogs down because Dennis is sure enough hiding his hot dog in a bun right over there in Simon house. Right over there.
All up in that man's house, okay? Dennis paying that mortgage.
You know Dennis said that on the thing they go together.
Yeah, he said forever.
He said they go together. Yeah.
Oh, Dennis said they go together.
Dennis said they go
and he kissed her. They go together. They just waiting till this divorce is over.
She said, stop until that camera go off. And when that divorce is over, like Sassy said, then all of a sudden they're going to be rekindled.
Yep.
Oh, we realize.
And she might be, we're going to have a baby. Pilar's going to have a brother.
We realize that we still love each
other.
That
we love each other.
But you know, Drew said that Dennis ain't her type of guy because she like a man with a physique, not no man with no belly.
She like muscles, not belly.
She like muscles, not good.
Yeah. And that's why he's trying to rip her ass off every time
that belly that she might got to get a crane and lift that bitch up to find something. Speaking of that, I got some of y'all up in here. I got some of you. We got 188 people in here. Make sure y'all liking the video wherever you are. If you want to be kind,
yes, please. And be respectful in the chat because I saw something.
Friday night, we're going to be talking about if you don't use that coochie, you can lose that coochie.
It's going to shrivel up.
Okay, come on through. We're going to be over here.
It's going to shrivel up.
Don't shit, huh?
What you say it's going to shrivel up?
They said the wild's going to get old and wrinkle.
So I was watching Nene Leakes. And she was interviewing Tamar, and she happened to mention one of her friends that she had who had a bad divorce. And because she had a bad divorce, she decided she wasn't going to have intercourse. So she stopped having intercourse for 4 years. Then finally she said, all right, after 4 years, I'm going to get me some. And when she went to go get some, her coochie said, he not coming up in here. The shop is closed. So she was left with a broken coochie and she got to go through all this stuff. So I just happened to know somebody with the same life situation and they're going to come on the show and they're going to tell us about their experience because what that lady experienced was she thought she had fell in love. So she was ready to give up her coochie. She tried to give it up. The coochie didn't work and she lost the man. So we want to talk about that and how it makes you feel. Because, you know, you went from knowing that you had this, or you thought you had this, you know, hot box down there. And then when they went there, it said not, and it won't work no more. So we want to talk about it. They said you got to use that coochie or you
lose the coochie.
What you gonna do?
Okay.
I'm gonna use mine, boss.
Gotta use it. Cheers to that.
I'm going to lose.
Cheers to that. I'm drinking some wine. So
lose it or you're gonna lose. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about that on Friday night, about 8 o'clock. I call it after dark, but you know. You don't use that coochie.
You gonna lose it.
Did she have a hysterectomy? No, ma'am. Ain't never had no parts removed. If you
can't get it wet no more.
It can't get wet.
You go to the bathroom and you thinking life is normal, but in reality, it's some stuff going on down there, and it just kind of seals up.
It tightens up.
And then
all of a sudden, that it's tight. That's good that it's tight.
No, they can't get in no more. Drop the T. It's not good.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, they literally can't get in.
Well, because the muscles are atrophied. It's like your hands like this, and you never move them. You can't pull them back open.
Well, maybe she using.
So she's gonna have to go get them little things and do therapy up in there. She's gonna have to go get a rejuvenation.
Okay, well, she could use
a coochie rejuvenation.
Look, she could use a vibrator to make sure, you know.
No, you don't want to do that. You might rip something. You want to go to the doctor.
Okay.
Vibrator. She dropped off. She'll be back. This is a public service announcement. I'm all ears. What time is alive happening? It's happening Friday night at 8 o'clock. Now, what I'm
telling
thinking
the blind lady, they be missing out on our channel.
What I'm thinking about is having a live conversation with her, where I'll set up where y'all can just see me, and then she'll be there, and we'll just kind of, because that'll make it just even fun. She said I might go to her house, or I might go there and have like a live discussion with her. So either way, it's Friday night, y'all. We doing it. Okay.
Somebody said it's dried up.
Somebody said it's dried up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a prune out in the sun.
Yeah.
That thing will dry up, girl. You gotta exercise that thing.
Yeah.
She said get one of those dusty roses for 99 cents.
Ew, don't get that rose.
Jeanette says regarding Nene Leakes, why people talk about Porsha being with an almost divorced man. Nene is with a man who is not divorced. Candy baby daddy was married. Isn't Sandra P next?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I thought it was me.
I gotta go to I'm sorry, I gotta go to Sassy. So Sassy, what do you think about what I said about Porsha and them meeting at the bowling alley and about Polara?
Well, Pilar don't know that man. She just know he was in the house for about less than a year, and that's it. Pilar be all right. So Porsha need to start using that. Pilar has a daddy, a family that loves her, and that man don't care. He over there at ICE. All he worried about is trying to break her mama down. So why would you want your child to be around somebody like that? I wouldn't. Sorry.
Okay, how do you feel about them saying that they need to Cynthia said that she told Porsha that they told Shamea that she needs to give Porsha a little time, and Porsha said that she don't want to divorce her friend, which is Shamea.
Well, I do. I agree. I think Porsha is going through a lot. I do think so, but I also think there's a lot that's not being said. But I do believe Shamea wants this resolved on TV in her way, but it's not working. It's not working. And really and truly, Porsha ain't got to say nothing. She's making herself look bad because she's doing all the talking. Period. I mean, if you shut up, talk about it out scene or have a scene or something, and I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Them two and they'll fight, break up, be back friends. I think Shamea wants the friendship a lot more, but she want to be heard. And for some reason, she feels like she's not being heard with Porsha. And that's her feelings, and we can't deny that. So, hey, it is what it is.
Okay. All right, what you
can't deny Shamea feelings, but we sure can deny that Shamea started all this, though.
Yeah, I ain't denying she started. But she should have known not to say something in front of somebody she don't know.
The problem when Shamea started it all.
Well, we ain't look. Porsha ain't no flyback. Porsha,
yeah, but we can't keep going by what Porsha used to do if we talking about the show. Because we talking about what we doing to each other.
I talk about behaviors with Porsha. I'm just saying, off the camera, on the camera, these two have had some stuff. Because Shamea said, off the camera, Porsha is one way. On the camera, she's a different way. And when she said, I ain't gonna be that way, they don't pay me enough. You know, so there has been some conversation off this camera about something going on. And I feel like it's more than what we see. I feel like Porsha want to control the narrative, and she's doing it. She's doing it.
I think because she don't want to tear down that friendship on camera don't mean that make her a bad person. I personally wouldn't.
I didn't say she was a bad person.
But that's what she's talking about. She want Porsha to sit on camera for us and go through all this bullshit and then make up like it never happened because she's done it for Porsha.
Well, I feel like this. If you get lopsided friendship, then at some point you got to be the bigger person to walk away.
Well,
if you feel like you're not being heard in a relationship, if you not feel like you're not being a friend, and I'm always being the one there for you, I'm always the one showing up when nobody else show up, and then I feel like you don't hear me, then it's my choice to walk away from that.
And
I'm going to be with people. I'm going to be with a friend that loves me. And when I show up, they appreciate me. Vice versa.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't want nobody half in, half out. If you don't love me as a friend or as a sister, and we've been through hell and back, some people could be in your life all your life, and you think they love you down the whole time they despise you. So, you know, it is what it is.
I'm getting emotional. Let me get myself together because I love y'all.
I love you too. I love y'all. I'm glad I have met. We're like sis. I had a revelation. I had to come to that.
Yeah, my friend. I had a friend like that. I loved her so much, and I would do anything for her. And I just
me too. And I come to find out the way they move.
Yeah.
And my peeps will tell you the way this happened to me. I don't blame him. I blame her because we friends. You knew better. I thought you were, but at this point, nah.
I was over there listening to it. I was over there listening to you, Sassy.
Yeah, I want Sassy to elaborate after the friendship scene with Shamea and Porsha. After the last scene, I hope we have time.
Yeah, because I want you to elaborate on that.
Yes,
that is important. And I felt that what you was talking about over there, because you know I got my 2 channels. You know y'all. But yeah, I was over there listening to you. I felt so bad about that.
Me too.
Y'all know I get sensitive. I start crying, so I get kind of sensitive. I was really sensitive.
You drinking that wine too, child. Put it up.
The cut water. It's the cut water.
Y'all know I get sensitive. Yeah. I get sensitive. You know, I don't like that because, you know, I had well, we'll talk about it after this. Okay, Sandra, how do you feel about Polora and about Porsha talking about she don't want to divorce Shamea and about the bowling alley?
Bowling alley scene I thought was fun. I thought they all looked really cute. I thought Angela looked really good. Angela, is always picking at Porsha about her butt. Porsha, she doesn't claim the BBL, but just from the way her body type was, I don't believe her. But they all looked good in the scene. I liked the conversation they had. I liked how jokey and friendly they were. And let's see, the other scene you talked about, Drew on the phone. Drew seemed to have had the worst of the lawyers as far as what goes on between her and Ralph.
Yes.
She mentioned the LLC and all of that. I feel like she should have got rid of that lawyer instead of waiting for the lady to be recused. And then as far as the mother and Drew, I liked that the mother flew in. I thought it was funny that the mother was, when she first talked to her in the car, the mother is 80, but she's savvy as far as her technology and stuff. She said, I'm on my iPad and my phone. So it was funny. She was on 2 screens and had to close one. Then they showed when she flew in, and Drew still had her chef over there. Chef was cooking, but the kids are kind of going through some stuff. So I don't know why Drew's crying that she don't remember. I think Drew's upset that came on camera because the mother was just having a real moment and being real, And Drew's used to managing scenes and pretending everything's
Mm-hmm.
perfect. So I didn't mind seeing the realness. I was actually glad to see it on screen. Sorry the kids are going through over Ralph. And the mother has some choice words about Ralph. He shouldn't be down in the basement. We've all agreed on that. He's conniving. Yeah. I think he is conniving. And the fact that he locked her out of the house, I think is disgraceful, not to mention dangerous. I'm glad that Drew didn't go in the house because she said he came from somewhere else and went in the basement or whatever. But that type of man who seemed to have no feelings, anything could have happened if you entered their space. And he claimed, well, I didn't know who it was or what. I don't trust Ralph like that. I don't trust anybody who'd be that mean in a divorce like that. So that was pretty good. I'll move on to the next scenes, which would be the ones after Drew and her mother. We have Miss LaMargaret, Angela's beautiful mother, her twin, receive her wings. So rest in peace to her, but we get to see her on the screen. She came over to Angela's house. I thought, Angela, oh my, you look cute. I thought that was cute.
Wait a minute, what happened?
Angela's mother. Angela put a post up that she lost her mother. Her mother passed away, Miss LaMargaret.
Yeah, her mom passed away.
Yeah, that we just met in this episode. Yeah. Now, we may see her in future episodes, but yeah, she is now
passed away. Yeah.
Yep. And it was recent, Drop the T.
Yeah, because she just bought a house. They just got a house. Yeah,
and she's in this scene. That is so, and it's so, I'm glad they have this scene because they talked about, she came in, Angela was talking to her about, the mother let her know, we got the keys. So I guess the mother is still with the daughter that she was living with, Angela's sister. I'd like to know more about that. They showed a picture of Angela, the sister, and her mother. The sister's name is always blacked out. And then also in the picture, they blurred that out. So the sister's like, don't show me at all. Don't talk about me. So there's a story there. So I'm sure we'll find something in the future. But what they're sharing now is Angela's mother, Miss LaMargaret, got the keys. Angela lets us know, confessional Angela lets us know she paid $490,000 for the house. It's her dream to take care of her mother. But as we saw earlier this season, what was going on with Amari's going over there. I need the car my mother bought and all this kind of stuff. And her and the honor getting into it. And then all Amari seemed to share with Angela was that she called her a demon. But we don't know any backstory. Not that there's an excuse, but we don't know if you running over there in the people's house just because your mother put money on it or not. So I like the scene with her and her mother. But then confessional Angela gets in the confessional and she says, this is going to take some weight off of me not paying for this house for them. And then she lets us know, and I have done so much for them. I've set up businesses, all this kind of stuff. She kind of continued the conversation that she had with Charles. So I find out interesting that Angela wants to let everybody know what she paid for and all of that. So she said the mother says that she hadn't spoken with Charles in 3 years. And Angela says, well, what is actually behind it? The mother lets us know that Charles said something to her about your daughter need to clean, which we've seen T-Talk has alluded to. He might be kind of ODD, but he doesn't play around about keeping things spotless. We've seen Angela come down while he's cooking and just be sitting there while he's kind of cleaning up as he goes along. So that rubbed the mother the wrong way. The mother said, he's talking about my child. She said she kind of bucked up on him. And Angela made a joke. What you gonna do? Blow on him? Because Charles is big, y'all. But the mother Miss LaMargaret had no fear. And she and Charles got into it over Angela. And we see how he talks to her. So everybody doesn't like to see that. So she said, I want to write him a letter. She said, he is my son in love. I liked how she said that. He's my son in love. And I love him. And I want to write him a letter. So I hope Miss LaMargaret got that letter to Charles. And I hope that they were able to make things right. So the next scene, we have Kelly and Chloe driving. The first thing I noticed, and I always notice when they're on screen together, we talk about Kelly's fillers and that sort of thing, but Kelly and Chloe have the same exact face. I think they're so cute together, but Chloe is in this huge Cadillac Escalade. I learned how to drive in a Ford Escort. A Cadillac Escalade on an Atlanta city street, it was just, she was giving me anxiety, and Kelly was sitting there just having a fit, screaming, my anxiety. Chloe was, she didn't have her hands like how you taught on 10 and 2. She was just driving. And she was also kind of almost side swiping, like not in the correct lane. And then Kelly was keeping up a running conversation with Chloe while Chloe was trying to drive. So they were talking about the kind of car Chloe wants. She wants a BMW. She says she'll take the small one. Kelly says that even if I get you a BMW, you got to be able to pay for it, like your maintenance and the gas and stuff like that. Chloe says she's going to be working. She's going to be working at Nana's Chicken and Waffles. But it seems like Kelly wants her in some type, maybe training her toward management, because she said, I'll be interviewing. I want you to sit in on that. Now, we know Chloe's 17, so I could sitting in on interviews. I don't know. I would think a starting job, maybe you would be a server or a hostess or menus or just something. I could see learning every aspect of the restaurant, since that's her mom's business. So I found that really interesting. I found it a cute scene. Chloe did tell Kelly, well, you can afford it, because Kelly told her she started off driving in a hatchback. So I don't know what today's version of a hatchback is, but I don't know if Chloe should start off with a BMW or not, the way she was driving. Oh, I forgot to mention the scene with Drew and her mom. I like the fact that they were playing Drew's song, Delulu, when Drew went to the mailbox in her silk pajamas. I thought that was really nice. I put that in the notes, so I just wanted to mention that. And let's see, the next scene. Let's see. Well, actually, the next scene is Porsha and Shamea. I'm going to save that for Sassy. So I'll just go around. I'll end with Sassy because she's going to bring it home. T-Talk with your girl. What did you think about the scenes that I mentioned so far? Kelly and Chloe driving, maybe a little bit more on Miss LaMargaret and Angela, whatever you wanted to talk about in those scenes.
Kelly and Chloe driving was cute. It was cute. I like her daughter. She has good on-screen personality. I'm like Kelly. Me teaching somebody how to drive? Ooh. No, get your dad or somebody.
Me too, child.
You too close to the damn car. You too close to the road. Just take me home. Somebody else. Kelly is big and deep, because I wouldn't even got that far in the car. So shout out to Kelly. As far as Angela, rest in peace to her mother. First of all, I can't imagine. But what I do think about the scene, even though she is gone on to heaven, I feel that the mama wanted that scene so she could let us know she bought her own goddamn house. Because as she said, all Angela done since she got on here. I take care of my mama this. I take care of my mama that. And even though that's your mama, the sister there too, and the sister and the mama ear, all she do is talk about us. She get on camera and she try to make herself look like she's this and that, the third. We need our own house. And she done pressured that mama to go buy them another house that she didn't even need to spend her money, but her mama wanted to make her baby feel good. So then she done went and bought another house after Angela bought her house, because she just want to let us know that Angela not taking care of them. The sister did that, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, I could tell the influence.
And I just thought it was odd that she needed this house. Why you need a house if your daughter bought you one?
I know, right?
If your daughter bought you a house, why you need a house? Except for the fact they probably didn't want that girl there no more, because she probably smart out the mouth, like you said, Sandra P. is more to it.
Yeah.
The girl might be smart out of mouth to her own grandmama, because she feel like my mama paid for all this, so y'all better fall in line. You never know. And she got a wife, and grandmama might not agree with that.
Yeah,
grandmama old,
auntie too. Yeah.
So that could be another thing that she's like, you're not about to come up in here with this mess, because God, you know how the older people is. God ain't blessed this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have the thunder and lightning coming down on me while I'm asleep. You know how they think.
They do.
So grandmama probably said it's time for me to go, and then she had to let the people know that. So I mean, I hope Angela and her sister could work it out, but I hope it's not just because we lost our mom, because then it's a band-aid. It's another, you got another Shamea Porsha thing, because somebody really didn't heal from it, and then it's just gonna keep coming up. It's gonna keep coming up. So they better fix it, or they better move on. Sisters or not, I'm with Charles.
Yeah, gotta adjust it. You cut them off.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Let it go. One of the two.
Okay. Drop the T. What you think about either Chloe and Kelly, or the scene with Miss LaMargaret and Angela?
The scene with the car. Look, let me tell you something. I felt Kelly with the car. When you're trying to teach your kids how to drive, you be about to have a heart attack. I'm telling you, baby. Look, I felt Kelly. I felt her pain. And I was trying to teach my son them how to drive. Baby, I couldn't do it. They were about to give me a heart attack. It got so bad. I said, you know what? I'll just pay easy method, the driving school, extra $6. I couldn't do it. So they go too close and they think it's funny. They and stuff. So I felt the pain of trying to teach your kids how to drive. It's no joke.
Girl,
I thought, look, my nerves were so bad, and I know, I was trying to be a good sport. You just can't do it when you're trying to teach your kids how to drive. It just ain't good. And then with a bigger car, you need a small car when you're trying to teach them how to drive. And also, it's not like when you're doing a driver's ed car, because they have a pedal over there. So if they get ready to hit them or get too close, they can push the pedal. But when you are teaching them how to drive, you don't got that. So I felt the pain with that. I felt her pain with that. Also, I like how she slipped. She won a BMW. I think she said she won.
Yeah, she did.
I like how she slipped that in. No, you gonna get a little bitty car, small car, or what have you, and you can pay your own car note. Now, with my kids, I would give them a little decent sized car or whatever. And then when you get, I always had a thing when you graduate, then I will put a down payment down, and I will pay the car note until you can, do for, you're able to do for yourself, get a good job or whatever, to pay your car note. But I liked that scene right there because it reminded me of when I was trying to teach my kids, how to drive. Then after that, I couldn't do it. My husband took over. But I liked that scene. Also, trying to think, the thing with when you are a mother and when somebody is coming for your kids, the scene with Angela and her mom, when she was saying why she, had her and Charles had that argument about he saying she didn't clean. I think Charles is trying to be funny because he asked her, "Did you wash your hands?" Now we all seen on TV, and I know he ain't blind. We've seen Angela wash her hands, and then he go, say that you wash her hands. So I don't like that. And again, I don't think they live together either because Charles is too OCD for me. And when you have kids and stuff in your house, everything is not going to be perfect. Everything is not going to be perfect all the time. Some stuff is going to be out of place. Everything can't be like that. When you have kids in the house, and don't Angela and them got kids in the house? Don't they got that other baby, Charles Jr. And her kids? So things can't be like that. So I don't think Charles lived there. Maybe Charles got an apartment and he just come over there and cook. That's the only thing I can think of. Because the house where he at, because I don't think Charles can live in no house with no kids. Because if one thing is out of place, it seems like he will blow a gasket. And I don't blame Angela's mother for popping off on him. Things are not going to be always in place, all the time. And that's okay. So my thing is, did Charles ever live in a house with kids, or is this his first time trying to settle down because he got old? Because like I said, it don't seem like he want to be with Angela. But once men get old, they got to find somebody that to settle down with. Allegedly settle down with, and in case they get sick or something. And and I think that's what Charles was doing. But I still think allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, that he's still out here creeping around. And Angela, to me, just wants somebody she can call a husband. So that's my thoughts. I just think that was, I don't think they live together. And I think that was, rude for him to say that she don't clean. And I don't blame her mother for sticking up for her daughter. I don't.
Sassy, what do you think about the scene, either the scene with Miss LaMargaret and Angela, we had Kelly and Chloe, and then you go into your scene, which is the large scene with Shamea and Porsha that was throughout the episode.
Well, I love Chloe and Kelly together. I thought it was funny. And Chloe does have Kelly whole face. That is her made over. I enjoyed the scene with the mother. I don't understand why she went and bought a whole new house.
Mhm.
I think it's some underlying issues that's going to come out later on the show, and we'll probably see what's going on truly with the aunt. Because as we know, um, Angela liked to do skim milk. Okay, she liked to skim over stuff and
Mhm.
give a little bit of fat just to make it look good. So I don't know about Angela, but with all that being said, we're going into the big scene with Porsha and Shamea meeting up at this restaurant. It looks very nice. They both show up. They both have on cream. Um, and Shamea they sit down. Of course, Porsha asked the waitress for another chair because they wanted something to put their purses on. The table was small. Um, Shamea goes into asking Porsha how she was, how was a weekend, and Porsha goes in to explain. She said, "I'm okay. It's been busy." Shamea cuts her off and say, "Yeah, your pamper party and all this, it was a busy weekend for you." And Portia's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Let's just cut down to it. What is it? What is going on?" And so Portia mom called in the middle of all this, and she told her, she said, "Hey, I'll call you back." And then Shamea said, stop. And Portia said, "Stop making that face at me." And Shamea said, "Who is that?" She said, "Mom." She said, "Your mom?" She said, "Oh, okay." Um, so they order, and everything. They get to talking. Shamea explained why she wanted to meet with Portia. She's saying that over the years there have been things that has happened, and she said that she felt like in this relationship she has never been heard, and she pretty much masked and dumbed herself down to let Portia shine instead of addressing the grievances that they have. And she wanted Portia to hear her as they talk, and Portia's just looking at her, okay? And she's telling her, she said, Portia saying in the confessional, you're going to tell people about stuff, and then how you expect me to feel, and all that. And Shamea is in her confessional. I did not like Shamea's confessional look. I think it looked like she was about to blow a gasket. She looked like she was, ooh, ooh. I did not like that. Okay, I didn't like the look. But anyway, they get to talking. She said, "Yeah, you had a busy weekend. It was the pampered party." And she was like, "Yeah, it was for women to come together." But evidently that's not it. Portia says, Shamea says, "I feel like you're just not hearing me, like I said before." And she said, "I expressed this." She said, "I mask a lot of things. And I feel like, you just don't hear me." And Portia's like, she said, "Oh, am I boring you?" She said, "No." She said, "Shamea, please, I can't do this right now. Can you just stop?" Shamea is going on about, you know, um, they're pretty much their whole relationship. I feel like this Shamea is trying to get across to Portia that she don't want to not be heard anymore. This is what I got. Shamea's getting popped off. She's popping off. She's being snappy. She's cutting Portia off. She was being rude. She really was. And Portia got over, said, got up, did her little exit, did her little cry, came back, sat down, asked for a box to go because Shamea didn't have much to say. Now, I do believe there was some choppiness in this scene because when she asked, you got to look at the scene because they didn't have any food, and all of a sudden, boom, when she came back, there was food they were eating. So I feel like there was some choppiness that we didn't get to see. Portia came back and said, "Look, what do I need to do?" And Shamea said, "I just need you to acknowledge my feelings. Acknowledge me when I am addressing you or talking to you. Acknowledge me. And she said, done. What is there anything else? And she said, that's just it. I just want to salvage or try to salvage this relationship. And Porscha's like, salvage? I mean, you trying to, is it unsalvageable? And she was like, well, I'm trying to. And then Porscha starts playing with the forks, which was rude. And then, you know, Porscha's like, Shamea, I'm overwhelmed. You bringing this to me. I don't want us to break our friendship up. I'm willing to do the work. And can we do the work? And so they get up, they do a hug. I know I missed some stuff, but it's pretty much redundant. She said, can we do a heart-to-heart hug? And they did a heart-to-heart hug. And Porscha says she's going to do better. She wants this to work. And they get ready, they leave out. So with that being said, I know Drop the Tea was on my channel, and I don't know if y'all heard about, but I had a friend recently, I thought was a friend that, you know, I found the reason why I can relate to Shamea, because when this person needed me, I was always there. When they needed me for photography, when they needed me for this, even in high school, 30 years of friendship, 30. And then I get a text while I'm on the cruise, but I didn't see the text until yesterday, day before yesterday. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see this text from my friend. And by the time I read the text, ping came on Facebook, and I saw her and my dad, my children's father, all hugged up and kissed up. And I was like, what is happening? So I called her, because she called me first, and I called her back. And she said first she wanted to talk business about the photography. I said, well, yeah, just let me know a date. And she said it's another one in August. I said, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that one because I got something planned. And so she said, and I also want to talk about something else. I said, yeah, I saw you and Jeff my ex up on the Facebook all hugged up. She said, yeah, it's not like what you think. It's like we used to kind of date back in the day. I said, I didn't know that. I said, had I known that you messed with him back in the day, I probably wouldn't have my children by him right now. I said, that's my loyalty. And she said, well, it was just like a little thing. It wasn't nothing serious. And she said, I got married. He got, he went away. He got married and all this and that. And I said, but didn't he date your first cousin at that time? She said, yeah, but they were on a break. I said, but that's your first cousin. And so anyway, she said, I just wanted to run this by you. It ain't like, she said, we've been friends a long time. I was quiet the whole time. She said that, it just how things came back around, and I want to revisit it. And I just want you to know, I didn't want to, it's not to hurt you. I said, I'm not hurt. I don't care about damn about him. It's you that made the choice. And so basically they're dating, and I really don't care about how that happened, but it just allows me to look back over things and say, was she really truly my friend? I don't think 30 years. That's why I say 30 years a person could be in your life. That don't mean that they're your friend. They could have been a hindrance. They could have been stopping your growth. They could have been trying to make you look a certain way, and they could have been lying on you, and you never know. Okay, so let's just say this. My son texted me today. He was livid. Okay, and I told him, I said, don't get mad. We know who he is. We know how he is. She gonna find out. I'm not worried, because he ain't changed in 50 years. He ain't gonna change. This is who he is. He's a user. abuser, a liar, a cheater, and this is how he's gonna always be. He's been moving, and she ain't gonna change. And I don't care. But my son felt like that was low down dirty, and a lot of people did. So I get where Shamea is coming from. And had I spoke up and not being that friend that just kind of pulled back and just let that person shine, but I started letting myself shine. I started having different friends, my sister. You know, I started doing my YouTube channel. I started shining a little bit more. And sometimes the devil try to come in and throw you off. Bother me, yes, because in a million years I would have never dated somebody she dated. Never, ever. Just because of the loyalty and how I have. You say, no, I used to date him. Oh, I'm done. No, bro. I don't care how the attraction is, because guess what? It starts off as lust, not love. And I can get rid of my lust. I can lust for something else. So that's my story. And that's why I say people can be your friend for 30 years or more. That don't mean that they're your friends. They don't mean they want you to do good. They don't want you to succeed. They just want to hold you back and laugh at you behind your back. But see, God is the God of vengeance. And he did say, God, he showed me this, y'all. I had a dream right before this happened that it was my husband and a friend of mine. I kept saying, why? And I would wake up out that and I'll go right back to the same dream. And in my dream, I felt the awfulest pain in my heart and in my soul. And then when I got that call, the Lord showed me who it was. And I wasn't mourning him. I was mourning the loss of a friendship, because it's never going to be the same.
Yeah,
it's never.
I can relate. I definitely can relate. I went through that same thing with my first cousin.
That's so bad.
Yeah, my first cousin did that to me. So I know all about that one.
And it's fractured. And even if we did spend time, it's still that fracture line.
No,
and I can never. Because
I don't
if
want to
you
go back.
did
I
that
can't
to your
trust him.
cousin, you was definitely do it to me. And I'm done with
Can't
that.
trust him.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
wonder
trust
how
him
And I'm a
after that.
Leo. If I can't trust you, I'm done.
How
I'm
long
done.
was she covered in him? You know, that's the thing. And she got the same man. Sometimes the women will think, well, he's gonna be different with me because I'm this, and this.
No,
you might be, but he's still the same person. And that mask is gonna slip eventually.
Oh yeah.
And she gonna need
And
that
my son
shoulder.
said the same thing.
Give it to her.
You know, both of my sons do not care for that. My sons and my daughter. My daughter, she does. She's her daddy's girl, but they don't care for him. He moves snakish. And my son say, I hate it because he's fake as hell. He goes around trying to pretend like he this holier than thou person. And then now he does this to you. And she does this. Oh, he was pissed. He was livid. I said, you don't have to fight this battle. The battle is already won. That person that chose this person got to go through that storm. And baby, she gonna go through it way worse than I have. Yeah. Because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So I'm not worried about it, because she gonna see when the lust wear off, she gonna see that snake for who he is. And they deserve each other. So let it be and let it go.
Yeah, she's gonna be embarrassed to talk about it. And then she's not gonna have
ain't gonna talk about it.
Yeah, she's not gonna have the support from you that she would have had. So
she sure not.
Downside. Yeah. It's a downside.
Not my support. Don't come to me telling me about it. I don't want nothing. Don't call me. I'm not gonna answer the phone. I'm not. And I was petty. I even liked the video. I even liked the picture.
So I see y'all out there on vacation. Yeah. That's how the Shamea Porsha scene feels like. We're watching what they want to show us, but not really what the underlying issues are. And it's very uncomfortable. The confessional looks sassy, other than I think it was too tight at the top. It was a snake skin, but I liked how elaborate it was and all of that. She looked really pretty.
It was elaborate. It just looked like she was ready to bust.
Yeah, it was too small in the breast area. It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very awkward scene. I think Porsha was nervous moving things around and stuff, but I also think she was dismissive. I can see why Shamea felt that way with the sighing.
Yeah,
and
she
from
was
the
dismissive.
table. Yeah, and you're okay, giving herself affirmations. And then coming back to the table to box her food. Once I'm up and I'm dressed and I drove there, we came separately. I don't like to reheat my food unless it's leftovers. I would have sat there and finished eating. I said, okay, I'm not going to keep pressing.
I'm going to eat my food, honey.
Yeah, I would have ate my food there and just take my to-go later. But I don't think they resolved everything, even though they hugged heart to heart. And make it titty to titty. So sometimes she always got to throw in a joke or just, and maybe that's her defense mechanism, because I think she is hurt too. But
she is hurt.
Yeah,
I think she's truly hurt.
Yeah,
I do think Porsha is truly hurt.
Yeah,
she just do things differently. She laughs at, she dances it off. You know, she
definitely should be hurt.
Yeah, she's hurt.
Yeah, she should be hurt. Her friend came on her show. Her friend came on the show with her supposed to be friend. Went to all the other ladies, talked about her, and then try to gaslight her when it comes back up and act like it's her that's doing something wrong. I would be her too. I would be.
Yep.
Sassy Queen Cat talking to you. You see that comment?
I have to go through this. That is horrible, and why they? It's. You know, I just tell people, hey, you think you got something? She ain't got nothing. That joker.
So cool here. You really think that Porsha broke up a relationship with somebody who was pregnant by a pool guy?
Nah, that relationship was separate.
Y'all gotta stop that. Really, y'all gotta stop. What relationship was separate?
Porsha didn't break that up. That man was out. That girl was already out the door. She been messing around with that boy. I hate that people keep
doing that, acting like. Why y'all don't talk about Fallon getting pregnant by the pool guy? Like that caused it.
Married him and got another baby. Just had.
Fallon's not on the show. And Fallon is Simon's problem. That didn't have nothing to do with how Porsha moved.
How did Porsha move? No different than any other woman that talks to. No, it's not his husband once they gone. That's the business side of it. Let's stop that. When they separate and they gone their way and she's pregnant. Well, she defiled the marriage when she got pregnant. She ended the marriage.
That's between her and Simon. Portia's not.
Well, that doesn't matter. Marriage. Well, I don't believe in that. Sorry.
And
you can't be pregnant. You can't be pregnant. You can't be pregnant. Have another man. You cannot be pregnant, have another man, and then have rights to that man too. Come on now.
And
you can't have her cake and eat
it. It didn't work out for Porsha.
No, it didn't work out for her because she didn't want it because she realized there wasn't no money there. And that wasn't her friend.
It was work associates.
Right.
I don't want my work associate's husband.
I don't either, but that don't mean the next woman do.
True. And that's why I say about expectations. We put expectations on people that we wouldn't do. But baby, others would do that.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that.
But I won't do the next one will.
That is so true. And lesson learned for me.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Ms. Z said, but what about Porsha, Shade, and Samia singing at the bank dinner? I feel like we didn't bring that up enough. What do we think was the reason for that? Ms. Z, the reason why we can't bring that up enough is because we're talking about some dumbass 10-year-old wedding. That's why. Because Shamea wanted sympathy. So she had to go all the way back and say, remember this, remember that, remember this, remember that, like all the Porsha haters do. Go back 10 years, 15 years. The show is this season right now. That's why we ain't talking about that. And Porsha was wrong as fuck for that. And that's what we really should be talking about. But everybody want to talk about a 10-year-old wedding because that seemed like it's more salacious.
Was she there? Is she there?
We got
she's going through it with Shiloh? Is she there? That's what I want to know. That's what's midnight.
I don't think so. I heard she wasn't at her baby shower. I know when Porsha came over to the house, the kids those kids are sweet. They run and hug everybody. They seemed real glad to see Auntie Porsha and all this. But we don't know. I feel like there's been a breakdown in the friendship for a while for Porsha to even try to shade her song, and that's true. I thought it was silly. Even when Shamea was like, well, no, that's me.
Yeah.
She just kept pressing it. That's true. And trying to act innocent about it, but at the same time, to me, being a mean girl about it. She knew that wasn't true. And she tried to cheapen what Shamea had done with the song. So yeah, I think that should be talked about more.
And what I think that was, and if I'm being honest, we gotta just remember Porsha is very seasoned, and I think she was trying to give Shamea some smoke with her, not knowing that Shamea had already went behind her back and started that shit with the other ladies. That's what I really believe she was trying to do, because Porsha know and understand they need to spar with her if they're going to be talked about. So what other way to get my friend some screen time than for me and her to go back and forth about me shading her song? So here I give you a lifeline, not knowing that you was around the corner with a knife to put in my back.
I don't think Porsha can blame Shamea for her season not working out. And it may
I didn't
turn
say
around.
anything about her season not working. I didn't say anything about the season not working out.
I don't think Porsha's season is working out, but we're only halfway through, so I'll wait for it to turn around.
So if that's the case, then we have to say that none of male seasons worked out either, right? Because everybody on the show is talking about Porsha. That means her season's working out. They have nothing else to talk about.
They're speaking about
what
Drew
do they say?
also.
Drew and Porscha. Okay. They talk about Drew and Porscha. Why are they talking about Drew?
Drew's divorce, Drew's music. They're talking about Drew.
They're not really talking about Drew's divorce. We talk about Drew's divorce.
Working with Dennis.
But so again, who's that? Oh, Porsha. Okay.
Porsha brought it up because she was.
Everybody is talking about Porscha, though. We're not going to pretend that's not.
Angela. Porsha's talking about Angela.
Exactly, ham sandwich. Thank you very much. Porscha's season is fine because she is the topic of everybody's conversation. People can say what they want to say. Porsha didn't show her house. Porsha, that's what they rate, and Porsha didn't bring the season because she couldn't show her house. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. Don't matter. She did what she's supposed to do. She got every last one of them women got her name in their fucking mouth. Ain't none one of them that went on the interview yet and didn't speak on her name. But she ain't spoke on none of their asses. So I think she's doing just fine. Porsha hasn't blamed Shamea for not one thing. You got that right. It's been all Shamea running from every radio station that would have her. Oh, it's Porsha. I'm doing my part. It's, I can't make the other person do it. It's just me. I can only do my part. After you done went out here and started all the stuff up.
I think Shamea needs to back.
I do too.
You said what happened?
I think their friendship's already done. I hope it is. I think that they've outgrown each other, certainly. I think there's a negativity underlying that I wouldn't have a friend like that. I don't think the friendship's there anymore. Yeah, and the longevity doesn't matter. I know Shamea said earlier in the scene with Cynthia, they don't understand a friend like ours being a long-term friends. And Cynthia's like, oh, I'd love to have a friendship.
That don't mean nothing.
Shamea. Yeah, the time frame, like you just said, Sassy, 30 years may not, you don't know what the purpose is over the 30 years. You coveting or you just, I don't know. I just feel like hopefully this friendship is over.
Yeah, speaking of coveting, that's what Angela said that Shamea was doing. And I have to agree with Angela when she was in that after show. That Shamea been coveting over the show in the first place.
But Angela, the same one that won't have Porsha over her house. Around her husband.
Oh, I don't care about her having not Porsha having. I wouldn't have Porsha around my husband either, and you probably wouldn't either. And that's fine. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have her around my husband either, but that don't negate the fact
too much butt for her.
That don't negate the fact that I still believe that Angela was right. I still believe that Angela was right, and Shamea is covenant over this show. And she thought she was gonna come in with her house and win all the fans over, but some of us see through bullshit. I think that's what she thought. I'm a rich bitch, and everybody's gonna love me because I got all these things attached to me.
Some of us more to offer than that. They're just not showing it. She's got more to offer.
And they're not gonna show it.
She's
but they're not gonna show it.
Nobody likes her fashions. Everyone makes fun of her fashion. She did need a stylist. She said she spent a lot of money on her fashion, and it didn't work out for her as far as that. So it's not just about her money. It's not just about her house. D. Herford, I agree with you on that.
But they're not going to show all that stuff. That's not. That's not what this show is built on. It's not built on she's a Atlanta Hawk over there by herself. It's not built on all the stuff she got going on by herself. This is an
No, not just by
ensemble
herself. They always
cast.
showed Old School Housewives. They always show charity events. They have parties. They have the trips. They have a bunch of different things go on. It's not just
Yeah.
the
And everything
dissolution of
has to be with
friendships.
the ensemble. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Most of the stuff she got going on, she is by herself.
but the friends show up to support. That's how it's always been. Somebody has a business, even with Porsha's pamper party, which I thought was done well until the end. All the cast, the ensemble shows up to support. They get into some mess at the end, but they show up to the event. That's part of them using the platform that way. So we haven't seen anything that they're allowing Shamea to show that the friends can show up and support.
Other than the birthday party.
Yeah, other than that, and that was episode 1. So that's now we 11 in. We got to see some more.
I mean, they did show up at Porsha's pamper party, and Kelly had her thing.
Yeah, that was a good. Kelly had a charity event. She had. They had something else where they had to get together. The luncheon. Kenya's thing went totally off the rails because of her action.
Kelly has had more events than Shamea, but
Yeah,
Kelly has. As a new piece, Kelly definitely has. Yeah, quite a few.
BKNY says Gerald does not want to film, so Shamea is using Porsha as her storyline.
She can fight with all of them if that's the case.
Yeah, and he's smart about that. If I were Gerald, I wouldn't want to be on there.
I don't blame him. Shit, I wouldn't be online either.
He said, look at the ladies on Beverly Hills. They all got nice houses and nobody cares.
Yeah, I never bring up the house. It's brought up every week, and I'm not the one bringing up the house. I don't care about Shamea's house. That's episode 1.
Yeah, it's usually in the chat. Yeah. I know you ain't forgetting about episode 1. We'd be going back 10 years with you, girl.
Yeah, no, there's a pattern of behavior. I don't see nothing wrong with bringing up a pattern of behavior. But then it's funny.
Yeah, patterns don't change, honey.
Sometimes not for certain
people.
But
you know why?
It's all over the place.
You know why I say that? It's because the show is not designed for us to do that. Like, if we're going to be content creators, we supposed to be talking about the show now, because this is what the people saw. Some of these people ain't even been watching way back there, so it doesn't make sense to them. That's why I say we supposed to be talking about the show, not all that old back stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I don't really care about these people outside of the entertainment. I don't care about what they did to each other. I don't know these fucking people, and none of us. I mean, we might meet them because y'all know we going. We might meet their asses. But what I'm saying is, I don't care about them enough to be keeping track of their licks back. We talk, what the hell they doing now? How did we get here now? We can't just say, because Porsha did X, Y, and Z back then, this is Porsha's fault. This is Porsha's fault because she got a pattern. No, you got to tell the person who did it, this your fault.
The scenes don't make sense without the backdrop. That's what I'm saying.
To them, for Shamea and Porsha, you gotta look at.
You got to. How can it don't make sense?
It absolutely don't make sense, because we shouldn't be talking about no 10-year-old.
That's why they're here. That's why they're here.
Yeah, because of Shamea, because she had nothing else. She had nothing else.
Something else.
Husband, no, she doesn't.
Yes,
no, she doesn't. Her husband. This is what you got to understand. Her husband does not want to film. So she needs to make herself available to film for something else. And what else is she going to do but fight with Porsha? That's what's going to get her the screen time. Anything else she would have done,
Angela, that was interesting.
Well, Angela, that's good. And what was they fighting about? No, she said something about her nose. How long was that going to last? You think they was going to go through the whole thing?
They could have fought forever.
If she just wanted to be in Porsha's presence, she could have been in Porsha's presence to support Porsha as a friend during her divorce. Porsha's going through other things as well. She's going through this divorce. She could have been in her presence just support for that. They weren't friends before that.
Who weren't friends?
What Ms. Z is saying, that Shamea and Porsha were not as close friends before.
They ain't been close for a minute.
Happening. It couldn't have been.
I don't think they was friends at all. D said maybe Shamea's stuff isn't screen worthy.
I didn't mention it.
I agree with that, D.
They showed a flashback. I'm not going to shoot Shamea all the way down just because people don't like her. That nothing that she does is screen worthy. Just because Bravo didn't show it doesn't mean it's not. But I did like the picture. They showed a picture of Miss Diane looking like Pebbles. Miss Diane was fine. She still is. But her, and then they showed the throwback picture of her with Shamea's mother. And she looked like a skinny Shirley Murdoch. She was cute, too. So they were running the streets back in the day, too. Production put that on there for a reason to show, here's a history. Here's these two women. Now here's their two daughters. And then that ran through the episode.
Yeah,
kind of underlying. Even when Miss Diane calls Porsha before they sit down, it's like, what you doing? I'm call you later. That she's on the phone with her, and then Shamea starts bringing that up. Your mom said this, your mom said that. And then production show scenes of bring the bone and this kind of stuff.
So it's gotta, with them, it's gonna have to be some of the past brought up because this is what it's gonna be.
And I know Shamea mother don't like it. I know Shamea mother don't like it, but goddamn if Porsha mother wasn't right, whether she like it or not, that girl was sitting around talking about her daughter with them girls like she thought she was.
They had a mini scene we didn't even they had 2 flash mini scenes. We saw Britt for a second getting ready for a wedding with Michael, which I didn't care about at all. They going to Napa. And then they showed Shamea in a mini scene with her sisters, and they bring up the friendship again. We've been trying to tell you that this been going off the rails. So the sisters brought it up too, that they try to point it out to Shamea, and Shamea didn't want to face it or whatever it is. She's just
and I feel like that was staged. That was produced.
The mother beef, Porsha added to it on Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like that was produced.
Yeah, she let the story. I guess the story expired. I don't know.
Because I bet
filler
scenes.
You know, sometimes they have filler scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like this last week was a bunch of filler scenes. Other than the beef scene.
There's mother beef. Porsha saying that whatever her mother's supposed to did to her was egregious. Now I'm hearing that she bought a business that a person mismanaged and lost. So I don't know how that's egregious, but everybody's different.
I mean, yeah, everybody's different because I wouldn't want no friend of mine to do no shit like that to me. So what is a business? Okay, so you run your business in the ground and then it's for sale and you're being sued. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna just say she ran it in the ground. See, that's what people go through tough times. We don't know exactly what happened after those people got sued for $5 million for the accidental death.
So
I don't know what
happened. Why is the business off limits for
mismanagement of money?
And negligence. If she's in negligence, if she's in the daycare business and she is in the market for a daycare going at a discount, that business is off limits because her friend used to own it. Why couldn't they go in? I wouldn't go into business with her.
I would think with all the buildings, with all the buildings in town, if you got money, go buy another building. Why would you want to ruin something?
Well, maybe I read on Facebook that it wasn't agreed upon between the two.
Probably, and then maybe
from the stuff that I got.
That's usually how stuff happens.
But this is just people speculating and assuming. We don't know.
No. This is in a court document because it was all up. I got the I screenshotted all of them.
Oh, if it's not this
in a court document.
Yes.
It was in a court document.
Yeah.
That they agreed on it?
That because they was getting garnished. It was a bunch of garnishments. And because of the garnishments, it was hard for them to get financing. So the way it made it seem as if Shamea mama bought it in order to help a friend. She bought it. She still worked there. And then they fell out for something else. I don't know what they fell out for, but Miss Diane still worked there. So I don't know if it was money's misplaced. What? That's why I say there's something else. Porsha and Shamea. Porsha don't want Shamea to say, and Shamea don't want to say it. I don't know, but it's something. It's something, and it's got to do with these mothers.
I believe that too. I think that too, Sassy. I always thought that. I don't know the details, but it's glaringly obvious to me.
Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Z.
Shamea mama is not really saying anything. Shamea mama is more laid back, more, but Miss Diane, she's not going to look bad at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll send y'all the stuff. I'll send it to you. It's a lot.
Yeah,
When I say a
about
lot,
this
it's
girl
a
mother.
lot.
She be halfway not even on the show.
But when she
I
comes
can't,
on
I
the
can't
show,
get a read of
she
this lady
says
like
something.
that.
I can. I
I've
think Miss
never got a
Diane
read
is a
on. She
madam.
ain't been on the show that long. Not to me. She
Just
don't
from
be
what
on
I
that.
Not
seen,
this
she seemed
season,
to
but
be
Miss
laid
Diane
back.
is,
But
well, let me not even bring it up. But Miss Diane is a madam, and she living through Porsha. Portia's
Wow.
aging out. Yeah, that's this. I'm giving my opinion on the
Okay.
lady. She
Yeah,
living
but
through
you're not even
Porsha.
saying
Portia's
alleged
aging out.
though. You guys say allegedly. We can get, we can
Allegedly.
get in trouble for
No,
that.
all views on the channel are alleged for independent.
Yeah, but
She
please,
told
that's
me.
alleged,
She
alleged.
got the
Ooh,
man. They
child,
got
you
the.
said that lady a whole madam. Oh my
allegedly,
gosh. Now, how did you get
allegedly.
that out? So since we alleged that this
Okay,
lady, how
let
did
me
we
not
get
even
there?
bring it up. So Miss
Woo,
No,
Diane
I'm
is
just
child,
famous
let's
asking
too.
not
you.
go
How did
there.
Miss
we get
Diane
there?
are
Because
famous too.
I never
Okay,
knew. Is
move
it
on.
court
Move on.
documents about that too? I'm just asking though,
What?
for real. Is it court documents? This lady was a madam?
What? Yeah.
Is it?
About what?
Y'all saying? Is it court documents about Miss Diane being a madam?
I don't know nothing about no manner, but some women do live out through their children now.
Miss Diane living out
I
through
can
hers.
believe
She
that.
ain't
That
no
We saw
exception.
her. I don't know what
She
episode
is
it
no
was. I'm not gonna
exception.
have timestamps like that, but we saw her sitting there when her, Lauren, and Porsha are sitting there. You and Simon couldn't even go to bed angry. I thought it's together for all this, trying to paint this picture that this scammer is somebody that was this upstanding gentleman, and the whole family knew the man was a scammer. Everybody knew that about Simon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Miss Diane knew it too. They just didn't think it would catch up with Cool Cat
Because if
said
my daughter
he's
married that
corrupt. I
old
agree with
ass
it
man,
too.
I'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah, how much
now
money you
Cool
got?
Cat
Dennis
That
is
man
said.
right
got
there.
worms.
They don't think
Cool
Dennis
Cat
is like
said.
good enough. She'll take him now because she aging out, but there's no reason for her to marry Simon over Dennis. They have a
Ugh.
daughter together, they have the chemistry together, but Dennis sells hot dogs or whatever. Dennis is a man with a lucrative business, and I think that family, the way they treated him and his mother, has been disgraceful. No, it didn't happen this season, and Dennis has forgiven it, but I just think Miss Diane and Porsha, they don't move correctly.
So Diane is corrupt.
Cool
I
Cat
keep
said.
telling you guys,
Yeah. Go ahead.
look up Diane getting arrested for stealing thousands from the Jose Foundation. Yeah, she did. She does allegedly not go where near the family. She was a side chick. Ooh, child, it's all in them streets, child.
It might be in them streets, but that don't make her
Don't
a
bring
madam.
don't bring it up
Saying
because
she a madam
Child, they
saying
ain't
she's
saying a
selling her
madam,
yeah.
daughter,
but
and I think
baby,
that's a little stretch.
I ain't saying a madam, but I'm just saying she
I just
living
think that's a stretch.
vicariously through her
I got
child,
daughters and stuff. I
allegedly.
don't know. I just think that's a
Chase the
stretch.
money. That's
They
what the
say
streets
she
said.
read Porsche to chase the money, regardless of whatever.
Yeah.
That's what the street said, not me. And I can believe Porsche
I
is
agree,
chasing money.
Missy.
I see her doing
I
that.
agree.
Diane didn't come between Porsche and Dennis. Dennis did that, and his mother was very disrespectful to Porsche. Very. I think that sometimes people think that because somebody's mother that they supposed to get more than what they deserve. That lady was disrespectful too, and I probably would disrespect for her ass too. I
I
hate to
didn't see
say
her
it.
disrespecting her. I
I
don't remember
did.
that.
What does Diane's past have to do with
Did the
season
mother try to
16?
fight Porsha? I remember Porsha trying to fight her since we're talking about a past. It wasn't even a past season. It was Porsha Family Matter. Did the mother try to fight Porsha? I remember Porsha swinging on her, and that's when Dennis got upset.
I think
Yeah,
there was a
that
reason for. I don't think Porsche just came out and went to swing on that
I ain't
lady.
gonna
I
hit
think they was
nobody's
arguing or
mama.
something.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I me
D.
either.
Hereford said go back to season 16. Okay, that's about it for season 16. Miss Diane brought up Shamea and Porsha's friendship as well.
I
She
remember.
He's
do
still
love
around, baby
Dennis.
girl.
She still
1989.
love Dennis.
Yeah, they're still
I
around
think too
together.
many family members was in their business.
Me too.
They still love each other.
Do Porsha do Polara go by the mother house? By Dennis' mother house?
I
Yeah.
think they all hang out
I
now.
think they're all close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're closer now. That's all forgiven. I think a lot of it was for TV. But Dennis just got fed up.
Yeah.
Exactly, G Tina, and I don't blame her because so many times we condition that we need to be helping these people make this and make that.
I ain't
No,
making.
you
I
need
ain't
to come
making with no.
already
I
to
don't
fuck
want no
build. I
broken.
ain't want to build no Bob to build the shit. God damn it.
Dennis
You
isn't
better have
broke.
some money.
Dennis isn't broke,
Dennis
but
got money.
he just don't
Moving
present as
forward.
one of them Africans
He just didn't
that's
do what Miss
like
Diane
Simon.
wanted him to do.
Yeah, he wasn't in no private jet like
Are
Simon.
we
He
really?
pulled over.
Are we really gonna pretend like Miss Diane is the reason why they broke up when Dennis was out here putting this hot dog in anybody's
Oh,
bun?
I know he was putting the hot dogs in there, child. He was
So why
laying
are we
them.
saying acting like
He
Miss
was
Diane is
saying,
the
I'm
reason
just
why they
playing
broke
with you,
up?
child.
Miss Diane was
I just
fine. She
wanted to
was
get
fine
you
with that.
aroused.
This season, she brought it up. She said, "I can't defend Dennis no more." She was cool with whatever Dennis was doing right up until Dennis had the scene with Drew. That's when Miss Diane got upset. Well, that's what she said on the screen. So
It
Miss
was
Z
laying
watched them.
sausages.
I don't watch it. I didn't get through the first episode.
Which one?
Porsha. Miss Z likes watching them on YouTube. She got a lot of subscribers.
Oh yeah, they have a
She's
great
always selling
chemistry.
subscribers.
Yeah, because Ralph brought that up
people
too. He
eat on
said
TV.
that Dennis was cheating on Porsha while she was pregnant.
While she was pregnant.
Ralph brought that up. Ralph brought that up.
Yeah, that's dangerous to your life.
Did.
Yeah, Ralph made sure he brought that up.
You know he gonna make sure of that.
Yeah.
So y'all know that's dangerous, but yes, Andrew, you said Miss Diane pushed her to marry Simon instead of Dennis. And you knew Dennis was cheating
No,
on her
I
the
didn't
whole
say.
time.
I said I seemed like she preferred Simon over Dennis because of what they thought.
Well,
Simon
I would too.
Money. They thought, no, not no old man with how many kids he had.
You somebody else.
He had. They don't even know how many wives this man had in Nigeria, and that is not cute. Them wives, you're supposed to get permission from them wives jumping up, marry these men. We don't even know that he stopped calling him Simon. Whatever. He
Oh no.
Cool Cat said he didn't want Porsha. I don't know. I think Dennis does want Porsha. I still see
he does. I see love in his eyes.
Christian, I don't think she got the money. I don't think Porsha ended up with the money. Porsha was making her own money. I don't know why she was trying to let Simon scam like that. Porsha was making her own money until she quit all her jobs. Porsha is a brand, and she has brands.
Yeah.
So I don't like seeing her flying over here with this.
He was trying to make her a common wife so he could do whatever he wanted to do, so she wouldn't find out about it.
And
then she lost all her money
after the fact.
Yeah. I think he was going to try to drain her dry.
Yeah, I think he didn't want her Porsha to work right.
I don't know.
Stay at home with all them children.
Or him, I don't know.
Yeah, how many kids?
He came up with that. He came up with it.
Oh, I didn't know.
Because Fallon said he did her the same way.
Oh, and then the way he moved Fallon out, I wouldn't have trusted a man to quit all my jobs like that.
Right.
There go Porsha. No man. And none of us up here would quit no job like that.
No, not.
And to be at home with his children. Gee.
I went through that.
Where's the mother of those other kids?
In Africa somewhere.
Somewhere around.
Yeah. Africa. Did Fallon have any children with Simon? I know she got
no, indeed.
She was the babysitter.
He moved her out. Oh, she's been.
So he brought his kids.
He said Simon said he keep a U-Haul ready.
No, that blind lady. That's not his real name. His real name is some funny shit.
Yeah.
I forgot. I forget how to pronounce it, but that ain't his real name. He made that shit up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's not his real name. His real name is something else.
Yeah, he's a whole scammer.
Kicked out of the United States 3 times, returned back, and still doing the same damn thing.
And I wonder why they don't send him back to their home country. I said, just send him back.
He in ICE now.
He might send him over to El Salvador jail.
You better hope. That's what I was about to say, Blood. You better hope his ass don't get sold to the Salvadorians, because they selling him
right. Because they might take his ass over there.
The United States is trafficking their own fucking people. What a shame.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're not sending them back where they're the home country. If the thing
is
send them to okay, send me back to where I came from. Don't send me to no third party. I don't even speak the language. And they're getting paid money on each head that goes there. Mahogany Meeks asked a good question. No, we don't know that about Gerald. Gerald laying low, Mahogany Meeks. I don't blame him. We don't know.
I heard something fishy last week about Gerald, but I ain't seen no real receipts, so I just ain't gonna repeat it.
I just found out he's in his 60s. I didn't know that man was that old. So you know, especially African, there's some wives and children somewhere.
So Shamea was looking for money too. You could tell that man old by his fucking chest. They both. I said the birds of the feather flock together. You think she went home and screwed that man the first night for no reason? She got real lucky. That man was older than her. She went over there and threw that ass in a circle. And the next thing you know, he was buying fucking wipes and shit. He said, I want you to feel comfortable when you come over here and shit. Come on back. Come on back over here, that old man did. Yeah. I looked at his body today, and that's probably why no man, shut up. Oh, wow. I looked at his body today, and that man got titties. He old. He had his shirt off. I said, put that fucking shirt back on, Gerald. Put it back on.
They over in France. Yeah, they're on vacation. Yeah, he's old.
I wish sure
you know he got titty fat.
Do Shamea husband got any
what they say.
Are we sure he don't got
no? That's what they just said.
I don't know.
That's what they just said in the chat. CEO fucking man. I didn't know that some bitch was 60.
Yeah, he's 60.
He probably did like fucking up with wives and children.
60 plus.
I did not know Gerald was 60. Now, why you tell me that, Sandra? I can't unsee it.
I didn't.
How old is Shamea?
40 something. Her and Porsha are early 40. 43, 44.
Yeah.
They 40? Oh, yeah, 43. That's what she is, 43.
And I don't like when there's a problem conceiving, they try to act like it's the woman or holding a baby. It could just be that old, what they call it, baby gravy now.
See that, Sandra P?
Yeah, I can't
now, you see that, Sandra P? I didn't want to say the shit.
That's what.
But now, since you opened the door, let me step the fuck on in, y'all.
That's what Shannon and them calling it.
Listen,
well,
it was that sperm on the cane that hit it.
It's late
Since
night.
You invited me in the room. Let me just come on in. Come on in. Hey, Kathy, I was trying to be nice. I said, never mind, I ain't gonna say it. Here comes this one right behind me. You know it could be.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the glass on. Is that the egg? Okay,
I'm coming. The new surrogate.
Is it the egg or the sperm?
Man, you running up into me. I'm trying to find it. I got one more with
it. Is it the egg or the sperm?
Get out my way.
Yeah, that's
they say old men give you worms.
Yeah, they don't clean that thing.
Oh, child, she said they make slow babies.
Oh,
wait! You said Shamea ain't no 53?
No, she's not.
She's 43,
and he's 63. She said, "Yeah, her Shamea."
Yeah, they said he shooting straight piss. Allegedly. Yeah, not a straight pee. I cannot. You see what you done said to me?
No,
I was trying to keep it PG. I was trying to keep it PG.
Oh my God.
And he said that man shooting piss. He shooting piss. Oh, funky piss.
Oh, thank you.
Urinary tract infection piss.
He said the hot.
You get a UTI. You get a UTI.
You get one and you get one.
I cannot. I'm not fucking with y'all. Yeah.
Child.
Wait a minute. Now his shit probably got dementia. I am not with y'all. I am not. I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to hell with y'all. I'm not going to do it. That was not me. Now his shit probably got. Sandra, wait a minute, Sassy. Why she over there talking about me neither? Me neither. You opened the door.
Y'all is terrible.
Sassy, she opened the door talking about she ain't in here no more. Let me just look, Sassy. Let me just get out the room. I don't want
let me
Sassy. Let me look, Sassy. Sassy, look. Let me get out of here. Let me just go. Let me go this way. Bring your ass back in here, Sassy. Bring your ass back in here.
What's that meme? I don't want to talk about it. You brought it up. No, thank you.
Oh my God, y'all done gave me a headache, child.
Sassy, you did this shit. Talk about I did it.
No, that's Tito.
Sandra, you just
Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Get off the
Y'all silly.
Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Some of that man bitch. I am not fooling with y'all. I cannot.
My God.
Yeah.
Look, I want to say this to everybody, the people on the panel, of course, my beautiful, beautiful panelists, and the people in the chat on some real shit. Thank y'all for being able to have difficult conversations without being disrespectful to each other. I watched this chat all night long, and y'all been disagreeing, and y'all know how to. I'm glad that me and Sandra P and the rest of us on this panel can be a great example of what it means to agree to disagree. Don't mean you gotta be disrespectful or rude. And I've been watching y'all, and y'all is just the chat been lit. Y'all been having a good time. Y'all comments are great. Y'all been engaging, and we really do love that. Especially the part that y'all just can agree to disagree. So thank y'all for giving us your time, being a part of this experience with us, and just hanging out. I just had to say that. I'm not saying we getting off right now, but I just wanted to say that because it's a good feeling to watch y'all engage and never be disrespectful. Never be disrespectful.
It is. It's a great feeling to have people laugh with you. Especially when you've been going through a rough week or a rough day, and you get on here and the laughter is what make you feel so good, you know. And then you look down, like you said in the chat, everybody laughing, cutting up, acting up, but disagreeing, but still laughing and having a good time. That's what it's all about.
It is.
That's what it's all about. We might not all like the same people, but y'all know we don't know these people, so it's just conversation. So really, thank y'all for
have a good disagreement, good debate.
It really is.
You know?
I think so too.
Yeah.
And Sandra P, the calm one, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, this one up here, that one over. Well, where's she at? Over here.
Dr. T. Dr. T. Dr. T.
Don't run now.
I like that backdrop. I love that afro.
Oh my God. I love y'all so much.
Oh man.
Yeah, we have a good time over here.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yes. I love these ladies. They are a fun time. Yes, they are. And I just love them. So, y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I'm going to have to head out because I got to work in the morning.
Oh,
are y'all ready for Phaedra to come on Sunday?
I am.
Let's see what she's going to bring, but I don't think she's going to. I'm ready for it, but until they bring Nene back, this show doomed. I'm just.
She's not going to get much. She's going to start.
Not doomed. I think they need that extra pop. Phaedra going to give it, but.
I think Phaedra's going to bring a little something, but she, you know, they keep saying she ain't bring nothing to Mary Dimension, but she ain't know y'all. It's hard to
know them people.
She was right.
That's a whole different ball game.
It's hard to come in on somebody else's show and you know what I mean, find your way. At least over there on the Housewives, she know her way over there. She know what to do. That's the house that she helped
that shade and.
I think she'll be fun, D. She don't have anything terrible going on. I think Phaedra will be fun, and Porsha
gonna come with the reeds now.
Portia's looking to have fun, and that's her buddy. So I think we get freaking frat. Looking forward to it. Cool Cat. I don't know, Cool Cat. All that dropping.
You think they were asking her to come back?
Well, let me just say this. My husband is 60. And if I wanted to be, he's very active at 60. I don't think the next 3 years that he would be like, I mean, unless something happened to him, like a heart attack or something like that, God forbid, I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. But unless something happened to him, I think at 63 he's still gonna want to go.
Oh yeah.
I think he's
He
still
gonna
gonna want to
pounce.
go.
I have a brother like that. My brother is in his 60s, and honey, he have about 3 people a day. So I'm not even playing with y'all.
Yeah,
That's the vigorous.
and I believe
The
it. I believe it.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
my
what's wrong with him.
Yeah, my brother, he's 60. What? Let me see. How old am I? My brother's 68, and him and his wife still get down, get funky, get loose. And I hope he
That's
ain't in
right.
here listening to me, but I
They
am
take
telling
them
you.
honey packs and stuff too, but then some of them don't need it.
No, my brother
Yeah.
don't take anything.
Yeah,
He
some of
just
them don't need it.
they say
Now I ain't gonna say they ain't shooting piss. I ain't gonna say that allegedly. I'm just saying they still can get up. They might be shooting piss or water, but them things
They
still
might
stand
be
up.
shooting.
They
They
still
might be
salute.
shooting something.
Well, see, the thing about us, we don't age. I don't know. We age differently than other other races. We don't look our age. That's another thing. We don't look like it.
Oh, I'm sorry,
We
Pat
don't look
Dyer.
like our, we don't look like our big mama and them and stuff like that. We don't look like that.
Sorry, Pat Dyer, for your
Yeah,
loss.
Pat Dyer,
I'm sorry
yeah.
for that.
That.
I'll send you a hug.
Condolences to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
condolences to you, Pat
Yeah.
Dyer. I'm 64. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I had to do that, and it took a lot out of me as well. My first
Yeah.
nephew, yeah, it's really hard. I've lost 2 nephews so far,
Oh,
but that
wow.
first one was my baby. That was the first one, and like I watched that little kid wipe his little funky butt, first pamper I ever changed, all that good stuff. So my condolences to you. I know how
Yeah.
hard
We
that
try to
must
keep it
be.
light and funny and
Yeah.
silly with them.
Yeah.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
We
So
feel it when
I'm
something
glad.
happens with one of y'all. We do.
Yeah, we do. We definitely
man.
do.
Yeah, because you don't know what
So
anybody's going through.
It's true. Yeah,
yeah.
you don't.
That's why I say share your smile every day
That's what.
because you
Yeah.
don't know what people going through day to day. You know, you walking
Yeah.
past people in the store, they could have just lost, their parent or they, you just don't
They
know
might be
what
spending their
people.
last dollar. They don't know where the
Yeah,
next day. And people
yeah.
just they think it's all about them, and it's not about
No,
them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
that's
people
why
going through real stuff.
It's
Right.
true.
when I be in the store and I see somebody in front of me struggling, I just be like, just let me go ahead and try to like long as it ain't like $100-something. I'd be like, just go ahead and take this if I got it, even if it's
Yeah.
100. If I got it,
I
I'll
Yeah.
give
do
it.
that too.
But yeah, I try to help in any way that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any way that I can.
And some people come to the internet for like, some people could be depressed or going through stuff. They come to the internet for
That's
like
true.
and
You
then
don't know who.
That's what
You
I'm
don't know who
saying.
we stop from ending it all.
Yeah.
That's true too, Sassy. You don't
just
know
to
what
get their
You
people
don't
mind
are.
know
out.
who you stop from ending it all. You just don't
Yeah.
know.
Maybe an hour or something just to, talk to other people on here and things like that. People probably don't have any family members and stuff. They come on the internet to talk to people and be a part of something.
Yep.
Yep.
And
And to
that's
come
why I
on
try
here
to
and
keep
get
it fun.
bullied and to get dragged and lied on. People are tired.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
gonna be
Going
We're not
through
here
people.
for
too
that.
much.
We don't do
That's what
that.
Going
they
through
say.
too
You
much.
know what? I was running around here talking about, I want a spirit like Porsche. I want to get the money because I did say if I ever date somebody now, I'm not the type. I don't want to date while I'm still in a marriage. So what other
No.
people do, I don't care. But honestly speaking, if my husband began to date somebody right now, I wouldn't be mad at that lady. I wouldn't, as long as that lady respect me, I would not disrespect her. As long as she don't pull up at my house, because that's when we gonna have a problem. Because this is my shit. So don't come over here, okay? Did y'all heard that? Key, my shit. Only name on it, so nobody can ever go and get no equity out of my house.
That's
But me.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's respectful.
Okay, so that's one lie that was told. Okay, but at any rate, you can't do that to me. But he could date right now, and I wouldn't care because I've already said, okay, this is done. So why would I care if he dated? That's how I feel about Simon and Portia. If they was already at a place where they said we're done, the business side takes longer than the emotional side. So married or not, if we already done, I ain't gonna give. Listen, did we just talk about men needing sex? If I ain't gonna give it to you, and I know you got to drive, then I'm expecting you gonna go get it. Why should I be mad? If I chose that I'm not gonna do that with you, and you do it with somebody else, how can I be mad?
I
You
push
can't
you to that.
withhold this shit. You can't withhold the shit and then say you can't go get it either. Can't do
Right.
both.
Let me answer this right here, my sweet. Did you know
Which one, baby? You want me to get? Oh, my sweet.
My sweet. Porsha did have a daycare in 2009. She had a daycare. The daycare got closed down. Well, the daycare didn't get closed down. She don't have the daycare anymore. She had a daycare in 2009, and a child passed away there. So she did have a daycare. The court papers.
Porsha owned the daycare, and I believe that Porsha owned the daycare for Diane.
Yeah, that was a lucrative.
I don't think Porsha
business if you do it right.
Yeah, Porsha
Let
owned
me
the
tell
daycare.
y'all.
Her mother was the CEO of the daycare.
Yeah.
Go look it up. It has the court
Because that was her mother daycare.
I put on there. I put all the
I think that was her mother daycare, and this is why I think her mother couldn't open the daycare. I hate to go back and leave people past, but the people was in there saying she stole money from the Hosea Williams Foundation. That could be a scar on you for trying to open a daycare. Because I'm telling you, my niece owns a daycare. You got to not a daycare. She owns 3 of them now, and it is a lucrative business. She started in her basement. My son and my nephew was her first children that she watched. My son, who was now 26, right? That those was her first kids. So everybody in the family, because she said, I want to open my own daycare. They was like, she ain't gonna open no daycare. She ain't gonna open no daycare. I said, that girl smart. She could open a daycare because she was in there teaching our kids Spanish and all types of stuff. So I was like, every time my little boy, he trying to talk Spanish, and I'm like, what? He only like 4 or 5. So anyway, I said all that to say she now got three daycares and they are millionaires. Their house is huge. They live real good. Okay, they don't want for nothing. 3
D.
daycares.
Hereford said Porsha said it on her YouTube.
Yeah, Porsha
D.
said
Hereford said she mentioned it. Yeah, I didn't know, but she mentioned it. Okay.
She said,
she said instead of going to college, she opened a daycare business. I'm telling you, that
Denise,
daycare is good. I'm telling you, that daycare is a lucrative business if you do it right. It is very
done
lucrative.
correctly. That's the part.
It is very lucrative.
The very first day.
So now she has a franchise. She has a franchise, so she can actually go to other states now and keep going if she wanted to. You know. Yeah, she could. I tried to get her one open one in North Carolina so my daughter could be down there. You know, because that's good money. It's real good money. But you got to have the wherewithal. You got to be really organized. You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you got to have
be
people in
you
your
got to be
daycare.
policy oriented. You got to be.
You know what? The Orange Man is trying to stop all of that now. You know how the state pay for your daycare and stuff? He's trying to cut that off.
He trying to put that.
They want these women
So
in
he
the house.
just want everybody to be poor.
They want to take he wanted to take these women back in the house.
And give the men their jobs.
He said that the state. He said they're gonna have to start paying for their medical. I guess half of the medical, half for they daycare and everything, and they taking a Section 8. If you've been on there, if you ain't disabled, or if you've been on there for more than 2 years, you got to get off.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah, if you
doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
They said because a lot of people, they said, are just going from one generation to another, stand on Section 8. He said it wasn't built for that. It was built for you to, like a stepping stone.
I get that. I get that.
This country wastes more money on other things, though. They waste more money on that.
Section 8
and daycare and stuff.
We give billions of dollars to other countries, and we want to take from our own people. It's not making sense.
Faking going out of space.
Homeless people out here struggling. This makes no sense at all.
To hurt people.
Yep, he's cutting
makes no sense at all. Now, if you got people, I feel like if you got people on Section 8, this is the only thing I feel about the Section 8. If people are working and they're paying their 60%, because the government pays 40%, right? And you pay 60%. If you paying your 60%, right? Then that should be fine. But if you're just on the system and you're not working at all, I feel like those people should be made to work if they're a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're too old to work, then leave them alone. But if they're able to work, then I do agree. They need to get the fuck up and go to work like everybody else.
Yeah, the elderly people he's not going to take off, but the people who are able-bodied, he said they got to come off.
But I don't believe in they got to come off because the program.
This too. Yeah,
he's signing it, but that don't mean it's going to happen. It could
Right, but either way, the program it shouldn't be made like that. It shouldn't be made you got to come off. It should be made you got to go to work because everybody's job is not going to be the same. Everybody can't afford the same rent, irregardless. Everybody don't have the same education. So it should be that if you're not working, you need to get your ass up and you need to get a job, even if it's at McDonald's or wherever the freak you got to go at, and you should pay your 60% of your rent. And that'd be putting money back into it. But if you're putting money back into a government that's just making a rich richer, then what the fuck?
Yeah, what are we doing?
That's what they want. They
and
want to be richer. They want you to stay poor.
The SNAP benefits are going to be like where you only can buy certain food off of the SNAP benefits on it, where you cannot buy no sugary foods like the soda, the cookies, the chips, and all of that. And they
know how much that's going to hurt the stores? The store's going to push back on that.
Yeah, trying to police people, it just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just
because I can tell you right now, people with the money, we ain't really the ones that's out here buying all that shit up. It is the people with the food stamps. So they better be careful what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, they better
be. They're going to put a whole lot of stores out of business doing that.
Yep, that's what they said.
A whole lot of stores.
And they're going to cut to $50 or $75 per kid.
They're going to cut the what?
The SNAP to $50 or $75 per kid.
Oh, they can't feed nobody for $50 a day.
No, D just said what it is. The numbers, they're gonna be shocked when they see the numbers of who really gets it. The majority numbers.
The red states.
Thank you. The red states without the T and the clear people, but that people don't believe that.
It's more of them us on it than us.
The face of it.
Right.
Yeah, they make us the face of it, but we're not the face.
Yeah, they're gonna see that red.
Yeah, when they see those, when they crunch the numbers, some of that's not gonna happen because they're gonna crunch the numbers and see.
Because it's gonna affect them.
Yeah, it is. They're gonna affect them.
Because we know how to survive.
More than
I don't know why they keep trying to hurt us. I don't know why they keep trying to hurt us.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They ain't hurting us.
I know how to season my food.
Yeah, we know how to survive. We can do a lot of anything.
We do all right. We
know how to make a lot of anything.
Make $1 out of 15 cents. That's what we used to
say. Yeah, 15 cents out of 750, child.
Yeah,
what you say?
We can do it.
We always have. Even when we have to come as a community to do it, we do it.
Thank you, D. Herford. And we've been there for decades. 11 to 12% of the population. So how are we getting all it? It doesn't even, the math doesn't even
make sense.
But you can't tell them that when they vote against themselves.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow, that rent is going up. That blind lady.
Wow. Right. So what he gonna do? All the rent's going up, and he trying to take.
Yeah,
distance from you. That's
crazy.
Thank you guys. It's been
all right. I was getting ready to say, listen, love you guys.
Yes.
Love you back.
See you Sunday.
Y'all go have a good night. I will see y'all. I'll probably be in one of y'all chat here or there.
I will see you in the morning. I just be listening.
Some of y'all be up too late. Drop the tea. Hands.
I'm like, ain't gonna be up too late.
Drop the tea. Not going away.
Look, I be feeling. I be like, damn, I can always catch Sassy and Sandra P. But that damn drop the tea.
Yeah.
Listen, my ass be sleep.
That's the late shift right there.
That's the night owl.
Yeah, that's
somebody had nerve to tell me one day.
Right there. Woo,
somebody had nerve to tell me one day. Said I missed your live because I stayed up too late with drop the tea the day before. They said in the comments, I'm doing the replay because I stayed up too late last night with drop the tea.
That's the third.
I think they drop the tea in the field with my early birds.
I'll be in there.
Yeah, just be chatting. We be just chatting, you know. Some people
ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Keep doing what you're doing.
So,
So hey,
Yeah.
listen, I better be some content over there. Okay.
they sure do. Real
Okay.
content. Real
A real
content.
content.
All right.
And then
Okay.
my grandbaby, they say, it's a night baby because she said he don't get up to at night and be running around up in her stomach. She said in the daytime he sleep and at night he be running around in her stomach. I said, that's okay. I feel all right. That's okay. He can
She's still pregnant?
Yep. July 17th is her due date.
Oh wow. She got a summer baby.
It's coming.
Yeah, and then I'm having a baby shower June 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm having a baby shower then. I did the gender reveal, and now I'm doing the baby showers. So this is it.
We did a gender reveal Saturday for my daughter.
Yeah, I seen it. That was so pretty.
I never decorate again, Chef.
That's why I decorate. That's why no ma'am, I can't do it.
Oh, it was rough.
Mm-mm.
Look at Dr. T Talk done froze with a hand in the eyeball.
She gone, and then she dropped down. Well, good night, ladies. We were ending anyway.
Yes, good night.
Thank you all.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
See y'all later.
Bye, y'all.
Does that mean everybody went home? All right, y'all. Looks like everybody is gone. Good night. I love y'all. See y'all in the morning.